Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special episode of ELO Heaven. I am, of course, Pronogo, and joining me as always is the classic Vu CSGO.
Yo, fuck GoXLR. I recommend nobody ever, never in your life should you ever buy a GoXLR or anything from TC Helicon or Music Tribe subsidiaries. None of them, okay? This company is the biggest pieces of shit fucking if you go on their shit, if I look up Music Tribe Canada, they've got a fucking office in Canada, by the way. On glassdoor.ca, they have a 1.7 rating. They are shit talked by every ex-employee they have. How do you have a 1.7 rating? These fucking companies, they go in and they get their current employees to give 5-star ratings and they pay them to do it. That's what they fucking do. How is it even possible to have a 1.7 rating? Every single one. Can I rate it 0? I worked there full time for more than 5 years. Pros, there's a paycheck at the end of the month. Cons, it turns your life into a fucking nightmare. Incredibly bad business decisions on a more than daily basis. Pros, I have a job. Cons, fear culture. CEO is completely insane. Every decision is shit. This company is so... Okay, listen, man. The GoXLR is, like, way overpriced, okay? It's fucking $600 for, like, something that, like, really you can do with a mixer, with, like, a $200 mixer, okay, and some software. So, like, $250, you can complete what I paid $650 fucking dollars for. But for the convenience... I went for the GoXLR. I overpaid. I'm a fucking idiot like that. I admit it, okay? I'm a fucking dumbass. I wanted the convenience. It just makes my life easier, okay? And I can afford it, so I fucking did it, okay? But the shit broke in 2 months. That is not convenience. That is the opposite of convenience. That is anti-convenience, okay? I am unconvenience. And the thing is, if you go on their fucking support forum and look up exactly the problem with my mixer, they say, this is a defective product. The headphone jack is not working. Please send it in for repair. Motherfucker, let me explain this. I have a backup audio interface, okay? I do. I have one. I didn't sell my interface because I thought, well, if this interface breaks, I would like to have a backup, just in case, because it is my living that we're talking about here. Gonna have a backup, right? The average person is not spending $650 fucking dollars on an audio interface and having a backup interface. You know what they said? They said, once the product gets to us, we will diagnose and repair it. Estimation 3 weeks before we ship it back to you. So my shit's, what, am I not supposed to have audio or a mic for 2 months? The shit broke in 2 months. I'm gonna have it repaired in the time I fucking owned the thing. Dude, like, if you have this shit, you cannot possibly have a defective unit and not just send out a new one. And you know what customer support said? They said, if you make money off of your GoXLR, we recommend you buy another product, and so you have a backup. What the fuck? Like, yeah, if you're not satisfied with our customer support, buy a new one as a backup. Give us more money. Motherfucker, let me explain this, okay? Does this sound like a defective unit to you, okay? Let me ask you this question. Does this sound defective to you? Do you need to send this in for diagnostics, or is this fucking broken? I can unplug my computer. If my computer isn't plugged in, which I won't do because my mic is running through this fucking unit at the moment. If I unplug it, it still beeps. As long as it's got fucking power, it puts out this sound that could wake up my fucking household. Absolutely under no circumstances should anyone ever buy anything from Music Tribe. Hold on. Let me tell you what Music Tribe subsidiaries are. Hold on. Community Store, musictribe.com. What are their fucking subsidiaries? Which are the brands that Music Tribe manages? Music Tribe manages Clark Technic. The fuck is that? Turbo Sound, TC Helicon, Behringer. Don't buy from fucking Behringer. That's a brand that you probably heard of before. Don't buy from fucking Behringer, okay? Fuck TC Helicon. Fuck Music Tribe. Never buy any shit from them ever. Fuck them. Fuck them.
But enough about you buying a new one because you need one right now.
By the way, just to put that into comparison, Amazon has a 3.8 on Glassdoor.
There it is. There it is. Well, and aside from Vu CSGO, we obviously also have at Squid CS. He's joined us for the broadcast.
I've been putting it off for a really long time, Pronogo. I was scared coming on an April Fool's broadcast, knowing that, or April the 1st, obviously, knowing that I would likely be the prankee. So I am still waiting for that in my paranoid nature.
Sure.
Right? But at least I'm not going to say the most controversial thing in this episode. And since it's right at the start, that's what everybody else can bash on. And then I can say anything from now on without consequence.
Well, you don't know that. I mean, we've still got a ways to go. It's probably another 2 hours or so of potential controversy coming up. So
I'm calm now, dude. I'm like
chill.
I'm so chill now. Oh, I'm so glad I got to get that off my chest, dude. Like I've just been typing to people all day, like I'm tweeting. It's not the same, man. It's not the fucking same. It's just like fucking flipping out, dude. Oh, I feel so much better.
There it is.
Oh yeah.
That's how you know it's going to be a good episode, though, when the first message we get from Vu is in capital letters, I have some grievances to get off my chest.
Yeah, I feel so much better.
Time.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So Squid, do you have any things in the CS scene that have piqued your interest? Is there anything that's been on your mind? Yeah,
lots of things I'm sure that we'll get into, but no, I'm just in good company, right? We've got one of the upcoming commentators in CS, one of the biggest brains out there in the whole of the CSGO space, and we've got Vu with us as well. So I'm really happy to be here.
There's his line.
Speaking of big brains, okay, let me tell you, I pulled some movie shit. Like this is like this. I gotta. I pulled like, you know, in a movie where there's like, oh, I'll give you $20, and they're like 10, $30, 10, $40, 10, deal, right? Like where it's just like there's no idea how to negotiate. I just pulled this shit with like a sponsor, where they were like, I sent them a message of like, here's the price for like for an agreement. You know, I'm comfortable with this, and then they responded with like a slightly lower price. And then I was like, I wonder if that's right. Let me ask my agency. So I went to my agency and I'm like, what do you think of this price? And they're like, that is laughably low. You should not go below X price. That is literally double that price.
Okay. And then, of course.
Yeah. So you should not go below double that price.
Dude, the repairman came to you.
You should not go below double that price, right?
Okay.
And so after their offer, I came back over the top rope with my new offer, which was more than my original offer by a large amount.
Perfect.
And I was like, wow, this looks so bad on me. And they were like, yeah, sure, fuck it, let's do it.
Oh, there it is. It works. We had a similar negotiating experience recently, didn't we, Squid?
Well, we did. I think I'm leaving all of the negotiations to Darian from now on because you know, Vu, as like a CSGO commentator, the negotiation process is basically as stressful as it gets in Counter-Strike. If I could just show up, maybe I should get an agent. If you just show up, do the cast, my life would be great. But talking to TOs and just TOs, doing business with TOs in general is just about as bad as it gets in esports. It's probably the worst part of the job, right, Darian?
Yeah, well, I know a guy who will represent you perfectly well and only take 10 euros off the top. So shout out at Esports Kieran. And moving on, we've got some other people to call out in this episode. Don't worry. First things first, we should talk about one of the things that's certainly been gripping the scene. It feels like, I don't know about you guys, but it feels like everything, like I'm almost getting by the numbers syndrome where they'll always have it on like a Tuesday or something, and then all the news will come out the next day. So what happened in the previous episode is we talked a lot about Cloud9 and all their problems and what they might do. And then like a day later, it was like Cloud9 announces exit. Here is my report. And it's just some anonymous guy from France on Twitter. Like, I don't even know who he is, but he posted some report about that. And then I was like, well, that can't be true. And then Squid over here is like, but he's never wrong. He never misses. Squid even gave me a bet that if Nell was wrong about the Cloud9 report, that he would unfollow Nell or block him or something. And I said, well, you should probably do that anyway.
I think I was going to add him to my Empire State Building height list of muted people on Twitter.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's what it was. Either way, he wasn't wrong apparently, which surprised me in that sense. I was very baffled that that there would ever be a C9 exit, but yeah, apparently there was. So that's where we can start. I think that'll set the tone nicely for the remainder of the episode. Vu, since we were talking about C9 in the previous episode, you might have some ideas to pick up here. I guess the most pressing question right now is, where do these players go? Do you think that any of these players are even going to get picked up now that C9's got them all on the bench?
I mean, surely some of them have to go to Valorant. Like, I feel like Zeppa Zeppa and Floppy going to Valorant feels like the most likely destination. EU players probably go back to EU. I don't know. That project ended so quickly.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's like kind of crazy. I don't know, man. Like I said last episode, like I feel like what they needed to do was drop ESIC at some point. Like they needed someone in place of ESIC, it felt like, but that wasn't like a realistic possibility. So maybe they were like, well, we can't drop ESIC. I guess let's drop the whole roster.
That does seem a little weird, yeah.
Well, when you hear what has been talked about is like they were offered, like they could have bought literally Astralis, or they could have got Nico and Hunter.
Yeah.
And then they said, no, we want to get a full team instead. And then they didn't get a full team, and they got all these pieces, and they got these pieces that were like suspect. Like they didn't set themselves up very well. And then the community is just so fucking the community is so dumb, because the community is simultaneously of the opinion that young NA players should be given chances. It shouldn't just be the old boys club.
Yeah.
And then also, holy fuck, you brought in newcomers, you better fucking win. Oh, you didn't win, you fucking blow, you're so shit. Like you can't hold both opinions, and that's probably why fucking most teams don't pick up younger players.
Yeah, it's the same people who were sort of chanting Chaos's name when they were on the outs and heading to Valorant, or like the same accounts probably are the ones who were like, oh, Floppy and Zeppa, LOL, these guys suck. Why'd you pick them up? Why'd you give them
Obviously, the most underwhelming aspect of the whole thing was the community reaction to the publicity of the actual contract salaries and contract lengths and all of those terms put out there, which is just an undoubtedly good thing. I can't think of any counter arguments to that other than the obviously community backlash.
They sure lived up to their end of the bargain. Yeah.
Barraged at Henry G. Even though he seemed to do a pretty good job at that end, he was trying to make changes in the industry. And I think if Cloud9 actually had some more results, hopefully he stays with the org. I haven't heard anything about like whether he's staying, whether he's leaving. I presume he's like in limbo right now. Obviously, I think he's been a little bit radio silent since the whole announcement. That was the most underwhelming thing, that they're doing a genuinely good thing and they get backlash for that.
Yeah.
I mean, what would have worked out potentially more effectively is if they, instead of doing that immediately, is if it was like the only team that could get away with doing that without getting shit on would be Astralis. Like Astralis, maybe Vitality. That's it. It's just those teams. It's really it. Because you're just gonna get shit on if your performance doesn't hit the level that the community thinks that money is, and the community has no fucking clue how much people are supposed to be getting paid. So they don't have any level of like context to like the pricing. So they have no idea if the people are getting overpaid or not. They're just here to meme on people getting paid a lot of fucking money. So like the way to do that and to avoid community backlash would be to have waited until the project was doing well, and then, well, you know, if it ever got to that point, who the fuck knows? But and then put out the money and be like, yeah, this is the price of the players. I mean, you can't really do that. It's like totally ridiculous. But like at the same time, you're definitely going to get backlash. It's also going to put additional pressure on the players, which is probably not a great thing for the org.
It seems like they would have had a lot of pressure on them just playing under the C9 banner anyway, especially.
Well, I think honestly, like, of course, the Colossus thing, the Colossus, all like definitely set expectations high, which didn't like put them in a certain scenario. But I mean, I feel like before then, it might not have been that big of a deal, because you just remember that Cloud9 had a rotating fucking door of decent players and washed up players and a few good players like going through their team for 2.5 years, and they were fucking shit. Right? Like, I feel like the expectations had gotten relatively low. Like, it could have been a little bit better. But at the same time, I don't think the general strategy by Henry G was bad. I mean, if it went well, it would be an amazing thing. That's the thing, because when it comes to CS, I think you have to gamble that your team's going to do well, because CS is like really fucking hard on any team that doesn't do well, especially if they have any history of being good in the past. So you kind of just have to do that type of gamble where it's like, we're going to gamble that it works out. And if it worked out for Cloud9, it was a good marketing opportunity. It did not fucking work at all. Every gamble they made seemed, well, the crazy thing is like the gambles they made went well, and then the safe options went quite poorly.
Yeah, I guess Woxic was kind of a halfway in, halfway out, where it was a bit of a gamble that he would return to form, but it seemed like such a sure one that they were banking on the whole LAN thing. And then I talked about this a little bit on the most recent episode of Server Time, which will go up tomorrow. But one of the things that happened a lot, I think, in especially with this online era never coming to an end. It's like the endless carrot and stick of like, well, just wait till LAN. And then that whole period lasts for like over a year. And suddenly if you want to have any success at all, like your career seemingly is being defined by how successful you are in an era where all of the LAN advantages and disadvantages have completely fallen off. And there are these people who maybe have never even been to a LAN, like Yakinder on VP, or again, he's been to some small LANs, but never been to a tier 1 LAN. The Gambit youngsters roster as a whole, I think, obviously sans Hobbit. Aside from him, like that team has never been to a LAN, never had to adapt to that. So you get these people who are almost like born and bred for this exact purpose and playing CS online that just don't have any issues whatsoever. And then you get the teams that you can't even prep for because they don't have that many matches or whatever. And it can just be like upset city for a while, which can then compound any issues you may have had. And I think that's probably what led to the C9 roster itself having issues. I don't know what I'm still waiting for insight on. Maybe you guys have read more into this than I have. I know that Jack himself did a bit of an interview. I don't know if this decree to disband the project or like halt the project came from up on high, or if it was something where the players were just like pushed to their ends or not, like their wits end. But that's something
I think it's definitely the management, right?
It would have to be, I would imagine.
I feel like the plug was pulled from the very top. It's not like the players under these crazy contracts and real stability.
Yeah.
The first time any of these players or most of these players have actually had that level of stability in their entire careers, and likely ever will in some cases, will just pull the plug at that case and say, okay, well, we haven't got the results, so maybe I'll just flush my paycheck down the toilet and won't be playing Counter-Strike under this banner anymore. Anybody, any offers? Yeah. I don't see that happening. I feel like the real irony here, though, obviously, is the old C9 core team, Extra Salt now, that was previously dropped, outperformed, obviously, this roster online and any rosters.
I think it's somewhat unfair characterization because, like, NA just gets, like, free points, right? So
you guys saw the ESL Pro League rankings where Bad News Bears are placed above Heroic and Evil Geniuses. Like,
the way it's ranked. So I'm pretty sure this is how it works. Maybe if someone from HLTV wants to correct this, that's fine.
Sure.
But like, I think the way it works is NA competitions are weighted exactly the same as EU competitions when you know for fucking certain they are not the same fucking thing.
And when they're not, it's just way too close. There's no actual polarization there in the actual rankings. It's not weighted according. I worked for my first ever job in esports, a site that you might have heard of called Gosu Gamers. And they basically had this worst ranking system of all time, which, because they're not relevant anymore, nobody ever talks about how terrible the ranking system is. We now bash on HLTV and the ESL Pro rankings, of course. But Gosu Gamers had this ranking system where every single match was effectively weighted the same, whether it be a grand final, who you're up against. It was just dependent on your tier of opponent, which was by the same ranking system, of course. So we had this scenario where the Astralis core, I think they were playing under Dignitas at the time, they were number one in the world by so far on the Gosu Gamers rankings. They had never won a tournament. I don't even think they had got to a grand final. They had been bashed in online semifinals. They were looking at a top 5, top 6 contender. And it seems to be the same sort of problem that we've got today in this multi-regioned approach. I think the only good way out of it, realistically, is to split the rankings into regions, which is actually one of the areas that Valorant are kind of outperforming CS in that respect, where like they do have decent rankings per region and a couple of rankings as well where there is a bit of openness for debate, whereas in CS it's okay, look at this ranking, look how bad it is. And that's kind of the case whether it be CSPPA, which has kind of consistently been fucking terrible, and then you've got HLTV, which has its gimmicks, has its flaws, and then the ESL Pro ranking, which I can't really comment on. I don't really know as much about it.
Yeah, the thing for me was there's a tweet that I put out when the ESL rankings actually came out, which was to the effect of essentially what you're saying, Squid, is surely the solution to having hilarious issues with rankings is just having them split by region, and then having some of the experts that you have on sites like HLTV, who at least, they write a lot of features, they interview players, they talk about stuff. Surely these people should be capable of writing it would be an opinion, but it would be their analysis and breakdown of a team's strengths and weaknesses, and shadowboxing a North American team against a European team, against a CIS
that's not really
team.
HLTV's thing though, right? Like, The
I'm
thing with
just saying
HLTV
it's an
is
opening for content,
yeah.
and especially if HLTV want to be home to that kind of, again, it's sports journalism style stuff. It might not be investigative or
Well, I think when
reportage,
you're looking at that, I think you're looking at like Thorin's rankings.
it could be Thorin's rankings. That could be an example. I think there could be video content that says, like, as of right now, here it would have a time gate on it. Like, if you go back and listen to it, it might be useful for historical value, like some of what Thorin's video pieces have been historically, where he'll talk about like a playoff preview for the major or something. But generally speaking, there's just a room for this kind of content to come in, I think, where if you are able to actually break down the differences stylistically and then give your analysis, it might be like really useful, especially ahead of international competition, where obviously Extra Salt and Theory are supposed to be boot camping in Europe pretty soon for the Blast event. So we'll have an opportunity to actually test these theories. It feels like that would be much better than waiting everybody, and then the ESL one is just an easy thing to shit on, because as Thorin himself argues, if you've got garbage in, or if you've got garbage out, then you probably have garbage in, right? So if your result is terrible and it puts Bad News Bears above fucking Heroic, then yeah, you're probably wrong, and at that point you've got to renegotiate whatever exactly it is you're doing with your ranking system, whatever the specifics are.
I don't know how they come to their rankings personally, but I think that there's a great argument that it has to be totally independent from any tournament organizer. There needs to be no bias in there in that respect. And even the CSPPA, to some extent, the way the actual business model works, it doesn't really make a lot of sense for them to obviously even be subcontracted that job in the first place by Flashpoint. I don't know who else you would get in. Maybe you do have to build a panel of experts, esports awards style. You build a kind of group of people and they all kind of have this debate, have this discussion. And I feel like if you got people like Thorin, Rich, whoever else, just pick 10 experts and they'll agree, get somebody like Vu on. Like, I think you'll come to a much better, but then you've got your own biases, of course.
Yeah,
so
the community hates
kind of
that
perfect model there, right?
As soon as the community has something that they can pick, they can point at and say, like, I disagree with this person, they're going to shit on it. And that's why, like, Thorin's rankings aren't taken that seriously, even though a lot of the time they're probably just better rankings than almost any other, because it's Thorin's opinion and it's really easy to pick off Thorin's opinion. And that's why I think HLTV rankings, other than being usually pretty effective, HLTV rankings are really liked because they're just numbers based, right? Like, it's just the data. It's all that matters is the data, which is kind of bullshit. Like, if you think about it for half a second, is because who decides what numbers mean what? Like, that is their opinion injected into a fucking machine to begin with. And that's why you have NA teams ranked way the fuck higher than they're supposed to be, because like something in the fucking data is being differently put in than we believe, like, us on the podcast believe it should be, right? Like, maybe some people disagree. But there's always going to be a bias in how the numbers are chosen. It's just that people don't see that. What they see is this person's opinion I disagree with, his reasoning I disagree with, or whatever. And it's always going to get like shit tons of hate. And that's why ESL's ranking is, I feel like it's been okay at times. The one thing that happens with ESL's rankings is they always have a good reason for why ESL teams typically get ranked higher. Like, there's always a good reason for it, but it's just kind of, it happens a lot. Like, it definitely happens a lot. And there's always, like, for example, when MIBR got into ESL, I think it was Pro League, right? Over Godsent, right? Was that it? They got into some event over, I think, Godsent. I
know that they eventually ended up playing both Flashpoint and
when they went to EU at some point, right? From Brazil, and they got into ESL, like some ESL event. I think it might have been the last season of Pro League. Over, I think literally Godsent got kicked out. There was like a reasoning from whoever it was, the ESL employee, that like said, here's the reason for it. It's like, yeah, actually that checks out really, really well. It's just like, I feel like there's some other things going into this. Like, like, this reasoning makes perfect sense. It's just, there's no way it's like happening like this every time. And then the CSPPA ranking is just a fucking joke. So
that one is probably undisputably the worst, right? Don't you think, with that said, that there's an argument that all of the building blocks into building a ranking have to be made public? That you have to be totally transparent. Okay, right, here are the numbers, and this is how we come to those numbers. Obviously, that's kind of proprietary, and you might rip it off, but if you've created a system, then that's your system at the end of the day. It's not like HLTV is just going to rip it out. Like, what are the arguments against making all of these numbers transparent. Like, I want to know how they got to
the methodology of HLTV's ranking is apparently kept a little bit, and again, this is just what I've heard, so I could be wrong about this, but I believe the main reason is they don't want people to game the system just for the sake of getting up higher in the rankings, where if you
there's that, but you also have to consider like the Google thing. So what Google does is if you look up like whatever, if you look up the price of fucking GameStop, right? GameStop. If you look up GameStop price, they'll give you a graph on Google, right? And it's a graph, and then it says like at the bottom, thanks to this website. And so what they've actually done is they've just stolen all of this fucking website's work, put it on Google, and now that website makes no money. Literally, they don't get a fucking penny, and Google gets to like make your customer service experience significantly better. I would imagine HLTV really, like, part of it is that they don't want that, because that would be fucking bullshit. Like, you make this whole ranking, you make everything work, you make it all work really well, and then someone is just like, every week they post an image on fucking Reddit and it gets to the top and nobody goes to HLTV to find it. That would be pretty fucking bullshit, right?
No,
serves them right. So no, I think as far as publicating the information goes, it would be useful for at the very least. That's why I actually prefer Thorin's rankings in terms of understanding the methodology, is because I can disagree with his placement of a team or whatever, but he lays out his argumentation, and then I, as a pundit myself, but also just in the past as a fan before I made any CS content, I could look at those rankings and I could say, well, I value things differently than what he does, but I can at least see how he came to this conclusion. And maybe in my ranking, personally, I would put them like up or down by 1 or 2. They're usually pretty reasonable. I don't remember any like egregious ones that were like 3 or 4 points higher than they should have been. But the idea is at least I can actually critique I can respond to what he's saying. I can engage with his methodology, whereas HLTV guys have it, again, as Vu described it, it is just bullshit in that sense, where they have the algorithm, so to speak, or whatever. They have whatever churns out the ranking, and then they say, that's just the ranking, bro. And then, like, meanwhile, they're actually writing the algorithm or whatever that parses the information, then results in the ranking. And that's where you get the garbage in, garbage out thing for the ESL Pro League, because presumably they are also doing something like that. We're just speculating in that respect. But either way, I think that the ranking stuff definitely is a bit weird. And as far as that, I mean, we kind of went immediately past the C9 stuff, but I was curious if there's any last sort of thoughts on that project now that it is pretty much.
It was the ESL one that put Bad News Bears. I thought you said it was the HLTV one. I was looking.
No, yeah, the ESL one put Bad News Bears above her. Right, so that's specifically why I cited them as being.
Just put that into context, because I did say something about HLTV when I meant ESL then.
Okay, yeah, sure. Well, HLTV does some goofy stuff as well and has done in the past. They always have some outlier, and
I mean, what HLTV has, all they really have is that their ranking is the best ranking. Like, when you look at it, it's like most people agree with most of the ranking for the most part. So
it's kind of dangerous for them to. I feel like, unfortunately, they have contributed, and I don't think it was like a deliberate thing necessarily, but they've contributed to the dumbing down of the conversation in the virtual water cooler, where people will just say, "But they are ranked number 2 in the world," and I'm like, But that's just because it's on HLTV. That's not a fucking objective
end of
ranking.
Argument, no discussion.
Yeah, it's like, sorry. I guess I'll just take all my analysis that puts them at number 3 instead and say, well, HLTV says otherwise.
I would like to highlight that might be a good thing, because fucking fans are fucking morons. Like, just like, I read this Reddit comment. I was on this thread, and someone asked what the top 3 teams are, and someone put Liquid as one of the top 3 teams on Overpass, and someone else said Astralis has beat Liquid on Overpass the last 3 times they've played, as if that means they're a better Overpass team. Like, that doesn't prove fucking anything. Yeah. Astralis, like, if Astralis only ever beat Liquid and lost to everyone else, that would not make them a better Overpass team. Your ability on a map is your ability consistently on the map against all opposition. That being said, I kind of agree. Like, Astralis might be a better Overpass team, but that argument is fucking so stupid. It's unbelievable, and that's the type of argument you get when the community is left to fucking linger. So, like, I don't know, man. It might be a good thing.
I guess no matter what the reality is, whether it was HLTV or something else, we would always have some stupid fans to fall back on and attack. But Vu, device got 4K 1v4 deagle. Anders said funny word. Astralis are better.
That's the analysis.
Fuck GoXLR.
Obviously, this is a good day. This is a good day to talk about all of the shit social media takes, Pronogo, because it is obviously April 1st.
Yeah.
The worst day to be alive in the Twitter sphere, which is basically just a combination of companies self-owning themselves with awful PR, which they'll probably make more money out of at the end.
Sure.
I'm very disappointed by the internet today.
Yeah, you did. You said to me before we even went live, like it was just you and I, and you said that you better have some banging prank for me because if it's not absolutely top tier, then there's just no redeeming this day. It's just been a shit day. What was something in particular that pissed you off? Except
the best prank out there was from every single TO not planning any games today apart from Snow, Sweet Snow, and Fun Spark. So the quality of every tournament on HLTV for the whole day was awful. That was my favorite April Fool's prank. They got the whole community as well with that one.
Yeah, I like that one. What do you think? What was your biggest prank?
I don't know. I hate April Fool's shit. It's just like I can't fucking read anything without it being like just this. There's just such bad fucking jokes too. Like, oh, look at this fucking funny roster move we're making. Ha ha, Shiro bench, Doja returns. Ha. Fucking Jackson's cut or fucking whatever the fuck else. Like I just scroll past it. I just fucking scroll past it. I can't engage. You
can't look.
My first tweet before it was even April 1st was excited to see 1,000 people saying they're switching to fucking Valorant for this April 1st. It's like just so fucking. Oh, they're all such fucking cringe jokes, dude. Like I was thinking of making a video 4 levels of knife rounds. Like I thought that would be funny because it's not. It's like I'm not saying something that's just like I'm lying, but haha, it's April 1st. Like, no, at least make it a fucking like the Zymu thing. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Like, we're putting out a milk sponsored by Zywu, so you can be as good as him. Like, that's fucking funny. Like, that's good. Like, that's actually clever. It's unique. They had a picture of Zywu with a glass of fucking milk. It was actually I enjoyed it. Right. If you've ever seen Lockpicking Lawyer on YouTube, he does one every year. Last year it was getting into my ex-girlfriend's back door. Yeah. And the other one, the one
those
this
are
year
very
is,
good. Those are very good.
I've got an 18-inch Johnson or some shit like that. Like it's actual content. It's funny. It's just meant to be a fucking joke. That's good, okay? What most people fucking do is cringe, and I hate saying cringe because most of the times people say cringe, it's fucking dumb.
It's actually,
okay? But it is literally cringeworthy.
Yeah, that's another issue, right? Is that people will take legitimate words like cringe and Nazi, and they'll just use them improperly, where nobody knows what the original meaning is anymore. So yeah, all right, fair enough. Well, speaking of cringe, we can double back to Squid's point, which was Snow, Sweet Snow and Fun Spark Alti. And talk about casters, because I have to now say the controversial thing. It's my turn to say the controversial thing. You fucking Snow Sweet Snow casters are ungrateful little bitches. I got you double your fucking money, you pieces of shit. I got you money, homie. And what do you say in response? Well, Esports Kieran gave me an opportunity, and I was too dumb to negotiate or do anything else, so now I'm upset because you made me uncomfortable for 2 days, and now I have more money, but still fuck you. Yeah, fuck you, idiot. You're welcome. You'll get nothing else from me. Goodbye. All right, that's
that your
funnily enough that plays in
done now?
Wait, what?
That's your final good deed for the community, like done, dusted, because they're all ungrateful cunts. There's no reason to ever do anything good for the ecosystem again. And to put some of that into perspective, like, and give it a little bit of context, there were like group chats, private Discord servers made specifically by the casters of this tournament to out the sources with the intent to get them fired from the tournament when that was the threat we were purging in the first place. It's actually unbelievable that would ever happen. And just this backroom cocksucking. Oh yeah, as you said, Kieran, our first job, maybe not so bad. Literally the person threatening you. There's this culture of fear that has been cultivated within this specific company that I've never seen in esports, which is, you've heard of sellouts, right? People who sell out, maybe they get offered a great offer, loads of money. These guys are sellouts for the smallest possible paychecks of all time. $12, €12.50. That's their price.
Yeah, and they get paid once every 3 months. So.
Yeah, once every 3 months, allegedly.
I don't know, man. I'm more sympathetic than that. You guys are like, I'm sure you guys did some actual work on it. There is
Weeks.
I know. I
Weeks
think
of
Thorin
work.
and Richard Lewis have both made statements on this, where it's like a pro will leak something to them, and then they'll say it, and then the pro will turn around and be like, "That's not true," and they're like,
yeah, it's a bit different
yeah.
when I think that is fucked behavior. I'm with more with Thorin than Richard Lewis on that
they
equation.
say like
but
I think Thorin is like very against it, but
Yeah.
I think Richard Lewis like understands like
Sure.
that's the game.
the game is not to try to out the fucking sources. It's like whoever was feeding this information to the investigation should be fired. I think it's not you guys, so let's and then like
Yeah,
doing
I'm
Chinese
99%
whispers.
sure that there's nobody in this chat leaking.
Yeah.
So, right, let's talk. I think Relog/Grid already know the sources. Maybe, like, we can help them out in some senses. Help them get towards these, like, terrible people who are trying to
Improve the
grind
quality
for
of the
higher rates.
broadcast.
And if you need some context, it's $100,000 tournaments. And right now, there's obviously a $630,000 FunSpark ulti going on. So
Jesus.
even more. And we're talking about the same or similar rates still weeks on, despite this. They basically negotiated like a Camden market hustler, Pronogo, just adding like a couple of dollars to the price when you see the biggest fucking idiot of all time coming down the street. That was the approach.
Yeah. So that's where it crosses a bit of a line for me, man. That did hit me a little bit. That like, okay, I just burst onto the scene, bro. Like I've been casting for less than 3 months. I've been doing CS content since August of last year. So no time at all, like not even a complete year. So yeah, maybe people don't trust me necessarily, but it's a little bit different to not trust me and then try to expose whoever is trusting me enough to give me information. Like that's pretty fucked, man. That's like at that point you're not even looking out for yourself anymore. I don't even know what you're doing. So yeah,
So
That was
who
obviously the
was
most
trying to expose it though? I would
disappointing
assume like Kieran made
other
like
casters.
a group chat.
No, it's
No,
just
it
actual
wasn't
other
Kieran. He
casters.
went
That's why I
radio
said fuck you
silent.
casters. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Kieran
went
hasn't done
totally
anything
radio
as far as
silent.
we know. I think he's just been moved to some back room position or whatever. Within
Yeah,
it
we
is
don't even
kinda
know
shooting
whether he's
yourself in
been
the foot.
fired or moved or whatnot. But this was the casters independently, and only some of them. This isn't the group of the whole of them, but there's a little clique in there, and they will watch this because rent free, and they obviously know who they are. So I think that that's actually one of the most disgusting things I've seen this year, to personally attack like me, you, Richard, like all of these guys who actually put their like balls on the line and said, okay, right, we're never going to work for this for this company ever again, making out like there's alternative motives and ulterior motives. Oh, maybe he's going to get himself a higher gig with Relog or higher work with Relog. No, of course not. They're never going to hire me ever again. I've said publicly on Twitter, I'll never work for this company ever again. There's no other motives other than I don't want to see the whole industry fucked. And for the people who don't know, I sent a private letter to these same guys, Relog Media and by effect and by extension Grid, talking about these exact problems in January, saying, right, we'll keep this private. I'll tell you all of the problems that you've got and maybe you should fix them. And guess what? They only start to make any changes whatsoever once everybody knows about it, once it's public, once their dirty laundry is hung out in the front yard. That's when they make the most minuscule changes possible. And now because the Counter-Strike community is fucking stupid, everybody's just forgotten about it. It's just a story of the past.
Well, they won't forget about the very high quality broadcasts that Vu, you I know you watch some of these, so you can attest to it. Not to necessarily drag you into this one, man, but I gotta say, you know what we're talking about. You don't need to comment at all. I'm just saying these broadcasts were clearly not on par with $100,000.
I'll say one thing is that like I feel like us inside of esports expect too much from the community. The community is just there for the fucking funsies. They're there because it's entertaining, and they want to be entertained, right? So expecting the community to really care that much is not. I don't think you can expect you can hope better for the community, and you can hope that there are people with integrity and people.
But what about the insiders? What about the insiders working for this company?
I don't blame them for working for the company. I think if they're on their own, going in and like trying to find the leak just as a casting collective, not with the company
as a
backup.
Freelance commentator.
That's fucking dumb. Like I don't understand that at all. It just seems ridiculous. But like working for the company, I mean, here's the thing. Prodoga says he's been in esports since like August of whatever 2020, I guess.
Yeah, it was no time at all, man. No time at all.
Well, imagine you were in CS for like 5 years, right? And you had never made any fucking money, right? Like I'm sure you'd get pretty desperate, especially if you feel like you're good, and maybe you might and maybe some people feel like they're good incorrectly. But like, think about someone that's put in a lot of time and effort, and they think they're good, and they just think they haven't made it, got the right chance. Whether incorrect or correct in thinking that, you're gonna try and jump at any opportunity you can. I can't really blame them that much. There's really definitely there is like a tight rope between not undercutting your other casters, because you don't want to be seen as someone that undercuts people.
Yeah.
But you also, well, fuck it. Like, if I have no money in the bank and I make $200 a month, I'll work a best of 3 for, like, not a best of 3, but a best of 1 for $10. Like, maybe that's like good money for me, right? But at the same time, then you're almost like peer pressured not to take it, right? Because if you take a best of 3 for $10 that you would do for $10, because $10 is like good, a best of 3 for $10 is fucking out there, but like a best of 1. Right? Maybe you would do that because maybe that's good money for you, but then you kind of can't, because like if people find out you did it for $10 when they were going to do it for 20, it becomes like this really weird fucking gray area. So I can't really blame people too much for it. And that's why like I somewhat blame the company for kind of taking advantage of these people and paying them. I said the same thing when Floppy was picked up, which I thought the opposite of Floppy, which was they could have paid him a lot less most likely, and he would have said yes. And he was paid a lot less than some of the other people on the team, but they gave him a reasonable salary that wouldn't be laughable compared to his teammates, but it was less, right? I think that's what you got to do. You give a reasonable salary. You don't overpay them. You pay them on the low end, but you probably a lot of the time pay these people more than they're actually worth, because it's not reasonable to just give them pennies when other people are making more. That's what I think, and that's on the company, not the player. If Floppy had taken a contract for $50K, I don't think I wouldn't have blamed Floppy for it. I would have been like, fuck yeah, dude. If you think you're good enough, if you think this is your break, you're going to make it because of this, make your money, make your move.
Translate.
Yeah,
that,
I mean, the group chat is pretty bad. The group chat is pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tight. I think it's a tightrope for a lot of people where they feel like they just need to get their break, and a lot of the time, honestly, they don't need to get their break. They need to be better, or maybe that it's just not suited for them. But how do you tell that to someone? Like, how do you just say that to someone?
No, again, if these rates that we publicated, the 12.5 euro for a best of 1 and 35 for a best of 3, these rates are appropriate given the quality of the broadcast. I think, given if this is a 10K tournament or whatever, some small time shit like Relog Before Grid sponsored them, then yeah, actually that makes perfect sense. It's like a smaller scale. It's like tier 4, tier 3 event. Oh, great. You got your casters in a contract. That's actually industry leading behavior still in 2021. So hats off to you doing that. That's crazy. And then also you got these rates that are actually appropriate given the case. That the issue is that they're trying to put on this product. I mean, they're not trying to put on much of a product, unfortunately, but they've got $100,000 in prize pool up for grabs in each one of these tournaments. And then obviously the Fun Spark Ulti stuff, which is a step above that, as Squid mentioned. So that's where it gets really stupid for me. And I don't even expect them to help me. Like, I've got a couple of sources within the company in terms of the members of talent, in terms of people who are adjacent to that. Okay, cool. And they want to tell me some information initially just in passing, but then they see that maybe I can do something with it and then I can help them out. So those are the guys who are cool. I don't expect any help from that. I don't even expect that recognition. I don't expect them to start tweeting my name and be like, oh, love your work. Thanks so much. What I expect is for them not to go try to sabotage an investigation that is positioned to help them. And that is why it was just one of those things that absolutely fucking stuck in my craw.
I think that you touched on the contracts there, and sadly, even though it is industry leading, right, it has predatory undertones because that contract was obviously referenced in the threat. We saw earlier versions of those contracts which had non-compete clauses inside them, and that was what they tried to pass off. So God knows a company like this, if they were trying to use that, if they would ever actually go to court. I don't think that it's actually enforceable. I don't think the contract in general is actually enforceable. The NDAs certainly aren't. Like, we've had multiple lawyers tell us that those contracts are just rubbish and good for the bin. Just file them in the shredder straight away because they are total trash. It's so unfortunate that we've got this situation where, as you said, sabotage the investigation. That seems to be the number one thing. Instead of, okay, right, let's come together and let's try and negotiate and let's try and make each other's shows better as well. Let's sit down for a couple of hours a night or whatever and actually use this as an opportunity to make everybody's product better. And then maybe we have a bit of longevity with this company. There's no way that the company stays in this current state for more than a year or so, right? Like, it feels like it's just going to go downhill so quickly. And it's kind of cringe again and kind of embarrassing when you see on Twitter, like, oh, let's give them a major and all of this stuff. Like, maybe it's a little bit cute that you've got these sort of statements riffed about, but no, it's kind of cringe and just shows how deluded the people in this company actually are, where they think that the shows are actually good. So you need people to talk about it. And unfortunately, we've got to this point in the CS community where the community actually knows what to expect from these broadcasts. Like, the average viewer is just a bettor, right? It's just a bettor who probably has the stream muted anyway. They don't demand.
What was that? The average viewer is a
quality.
botter? Oh, better. Oh, sorry.
The average viewer is a alleged botter, but better at the same time.
Okay.
And realistically, they don't expect any quality. The majority of these people have the stream muted. They're logged out of Twitch chat anyway. They don't actually have that same sort of engagement. Whereas if you go into an ESL broadcast, the quality is substantially higher, but the hate is also substantially higher. And that's the big problem that we've got here, that the community isn't actually holding these companies to account. They're not saying, hey, guys, you've got $100,000. Well, maybe spend some of it on talent, on these broadcasting pieces. And just buying a fucking suit or borrowing your dad's suit isn't actually good enough for a cast. You've actually got to put the prep in and do the research. Like, some of the stuff that I've seen just isn't good enough whatsoever. And that's one of the most unfortunate factors, because this should be a big opportunity. This should be the number one opportunity. It's not every day that casters get to cast these teams. $100,000 prize pools. Stress it. $100,000 prize pool. And it feels like a lot of these guys are kind of blowing that opportunity, to be perfectly honest. And because it's not viable for a company like this. Like, the company will just like lose sponsors.
Yeah.
Somebody will tune in one day from those companies and say, hey, why are we supporting this? This is a shit broadcast. Why would we have a logo there on this very bad product?
Well, and consider this too, right?
At some point.
Like, another issue with the whole low quality broadcast product, and also it becoming just an expectation of whoever is watching, is that this is an opportunity for us to finally have a legit competitor to ESL. Sounds
100%.
fucking crazy. It sounds crazy.
They want to be.
But Flashpoint is basically like, it looks super like unimpressive right now. Very, like, we haven't had any news since Thorin has left. We don't know anything about the partner teams. Like, that just seems like a dead project walking. Maybe Monte Cristo will be able to work some magic. I don't know. But that is like its own fucking can of worms that people have to figure out. Hopefully it comes back, but it does not look like it's going to deliver on the competitor to ESL directive. Blast, simultaneously, like, they're kind of somewhat starting to compete. They certainly have a higher quality product than ESL do, but they have their own sort of skeletons in the closet, shall we say, in terms of how they handle business. And then they also have the fact that they just don't seemingly have as many tournaments as ESL does. They don't dominate the calendar nearly as much. Whereas we've seen a pretty consistent presence from Grid and Relog in the last couple of months, basically since the year began, and it seems like they're only scaling things up. Like, they have this whole year-long circuit this year from all of the I guess sweet season thing. Like, it was obviously Snow Sweet Snow, this upcoming Spring Sweet Spring or whatever. So they have like ones for they've essentially got 4 different sets. They've got the Fun Spark stuff, the Pinnacle Cup stuff. They've got all this stuff. If this was a legit contender in terms of broadcast quality, even if it was like 75% as good as ESL, which is doable, then yeah, that would be much better. That would be so much better for the scene, healthier for the scene, because it would drive the expectation of quality up. We would be able to say, hey, ESL, like, these guys are knocking on your front door, and they just sort of showed up, and they're doing it with like less talent. They're doing it with, in theory, less money. They've obviously got less of an investment in the space, but they're able to come right in and not necessarily supersede you, but like, that would be a higher quality. It's the same argument that people say, well, Valorant's good for CS because maybe Valve will actually do something. Well, we could say the same thing if obviously this company right here, Relog and Grid, if they were able to put on good shows, maybe ESL would fucking do something, but it doesn't look like that's very likely at all.
No, there are a couple of good points here. All of those Flashpoint members of talent are on the open market right now. And that would be my go-to if I had some legit money, if I was a legit company. And the second thing why I don't hold out any hope that this will ever happen is that isn't the business model. The business model is selling data and not putting on good broadcasts and getting sponsors. The reason why the broadcasts are shit is because they do not care about the broadcasts. The majority of companies out there, it's a massive backseat. They don't put as much emphasis as they should, but this is taking it to the absolute extreme. The one surprising factor for me was the teams that reached out to us while we were doing the Kieran investigation and said, like, behind closed doors, we know that this tournament is shit. We're only in it for the HLTV rankings, for the little bit of money, and we cannot quit these guys because they have a dominance over the tier 2 scene. That was the saddest part of it, and they can't speak up because of this culture of fear that actually seems to extend to the teams as well, and how unhappy some of these teams were having to like wake up at 7 a.m. to play some matches. Like, this seems ridiculous. This is supposed to be a professional tournament. You're supposed to be a tier 2 tournament, but this is not even approaching the quality of a lot of tier 3, tier 4 tournaments, unfortunately. And that is why it's the biggest shame, is these guys have an open goal. They could hit a home run straight away, and it's not happened. And honestly, I don't see it ever happening because these guys don't give a fuck, Pronogo.
What do you think, Vu, about it? We can go to Flashpoint as well. That's on the docket. So
there's a few things. So first of all, one of the things that needs to happen is that this happens with players. Players see their other players as competition. Casters see other casters as competition. That would probably be, if I was to guess, that's probably the root behind trying to catch the people that leak things. And basically, I have this with YouTube where, I have the option of helping other YouTubers, and typically I try my best to any smaller YouTuber, or I mean even a bigger YouTuber. Why would they talk to me? Anyone that wants help with YouTube stuff, I will give them advice. I will tell them everything I think. I even have a video. I've got it on Patreon because it's just, I wouldn't release it publicly because nobody gives a fuck. But if someone's on my Patreon, they'll be able to see it. I link it to people off my Patreon, which is like what I think are the best practices to make YouTube content. What keeps viewers entertained? What a thumbnail should look like? What it can look like? What people do wrong? All this stuff. That's actively, like, it is kind of hurting me. Like, I'm helping my competition, but at the same time, like, I have to have an internal belief that I am better than someone that can just take what I do and 100%. Try to create the same exact thing. If I don't have that belief, then that's just insecurity. Like, I have to be confident enough that I believe that even if someone had all of my list of things I think are good, they wouldn't be able to execute them the same as me because I am me. And you have to have the same thing as a caster. You have to have an internal belief that you are good enough that even if you told someone, I think this is how to cast well, they wouldn't be able to do it as well as you, or do it in your same way. Or if they did better, then it'll help you level up your play. But I think a lot of the time that's not the reality. I think people, they just look at other casters as competition. If they help out the other caster, what they're actively doing is they're hurting themselves. And so they basically, you cut any corner and you do stuff like undercutting, and you do stuff like trying to make sure that you don't give good advice to other casters and shit like that. Like, it's just bullshit. Like, you gotta understand that you're all in this shit together. And people, again, it happens with players. I've had like the same thought on YouTube where I've thought like, wow, if I was just a dick, I could just like not help these people at all. But I don't see it that way. I think casters and players all shouldn't see it that way, but I think they actively do see it that way, which is really just hurts everyone. It really just hurts everyone when you have that mentality.
Yeah, they think of it as a zero-sum game, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. And I feel like this is something that only happens at the very bottom of the scene. We've got experience of this, Pronogo. When you're talking to tier 1 or tier 2 commentators, they will give you their advice, and like sometimes unsolicited. But if you say to them, right, can you sit down? Maybe you could explain this concept to me. What do you think of this broadcast? The majority of higher tier commentators would do it. Just look at Just Harry's attempt to reach out to these
created a group chat with all those guys. Yeah.
And the reason why that isn't happening more is because people at the very bottom of the scene aren't reaching out, aren't looking for help, because when it's your only gig, and it's unfortunately that's why this has that predatory vibe to it, is this is the majority of those guys only gig, sole income, like they literally cannot pay the rent if they don't work for these guys, which is the case in multiple jobs. It's not completely unique to Relog, to Grid, to all of these guys. And let's say that Grid as well, because we haven't made this clear enough, are the main culprits here. It's not all Relog. They were the people who, but it happened under Relog's watch. It's their tournament. They are the broadcasting partners. They should have been responsible for the broadcasting. Yep. And I think they've been asleep at the wheel for months. But back to the casters for a second. I feel like as you climb the chain, people become way more accepting, way more understanding, way more able and willing to actually give advice, give good advice, put their time in. There aren't many tier 1 or tier 2 casters that we've reached out to who haven't taken our messages and even got into calls for multiple hours, like agreed to do shows, done all of this stuff. Like just look at the fucking list of guests on this particular show, for instance, or Pronoga's interviews. Like a lot of them are very forthcoming with advice. You've just got to pick up the phone, send them a message. Most of these guys have their DMs open and they've been exactly where you guys are. But there's this paranoia, obviously, as Kieran went, other casters try to like establish themselves as Lord of the Flies and try to take the minuscule control through these Discord servers, partly to cover up their own discrepancies in the past, scamming esports teams being one of them in previous fields. So get that sorted out as soon as possible. And it's very transparent. It's as transparent as a fucking broken window at the end of the day. Everybody knows what's going on here, so it just needs to be immediately fixed and called out. But that doesn't happen with this culture of fear. People have to start talking to each other again, and outside of your little bubble. When you are in a bubble, when you only talk to 4 or 5 different guys or inside of the same social group and don't reach out for external advice, you're likely not going to get better advice at all. And it's different levels of experience as well. Not somebody with 6 months in the industry, but somebody with 6 years in the industry, 10 years in the industry. These people, so somebody who's a role model to me, Richard Lewis, helped me out substantially at different points in my career. I would advise anybody else, find your role models, go out, reach out, get in touch with them, because the likelihood is it'll make them feel good as well. Oh, I got to help somebody. And when they see you hopefully succeed, then they can maybe take a little bit of fucking credit for that internally, and you can give them, and everybody helps everybody. That's how the scene develops. I think that that's something that's really gone missing, especially in the last year, but maybe just forever. And since we're not really we're grassroots, right? But we're not as small and enclosed as we used to be, that there's no sort of industry development, and it's more personal development. It's, okay, right, how do we make just our company better and not the whole ecosystem better? Like, ESL have made certain attempts at the start of this year to make North American CS more monetarily viable. But obviously with Flashpoint going, somebody else has to fill those shoes. And some might argue that it might be Valve, but that's never going to happen. They are once again asleep at the wheel. So it's unfortunate here, but I think everybody has to help everybody in that sense. So like, if you're friends with some of these commentators, just send them a message. Say like, what the fuck is going on, man? Why? Like, just try and help them. Give them good advice.
It's also easier for people that are like relatively successful to not be as cutthroat in terms of taking every opportunity or not helping other people. Yeah. Because like, if you're already making a living off of it, then you're not too worried. You're not too worried about, you know, losing a gig or something, you know, especially if you're making a good living. Whereas someone that's not making a living, like every gig could be make or break. Maybe one gig is the difference between being able to stay full time or, you know, going away from full time. And you see this sometimes with the most obvious example, and I'm going to bring this up because I've seen this fucking guy playing Apex Legends, and I call him out every single time he's on my fucking team when I'm playing Apex Legends, is Foger or Black Foger, the owner of fucking Blight Gaming. Blight Gaming scammed like every fucking team they had, dude. Like every team came out of Blight Gaming and said they fucking scammed us. Next team still went in because at least some money is better than no money. Same shit happened when I worked for CSL. CSL, by the way, invoice in October 2019. They still owe me $100. It's $100. I don't give a fuck. Like, I really don't care about fucking $100 that much. Like, it's not make or break. But when I got fired for referencing midget boxing, okay, that's what happened. What actually happened is that we were like kind of negative about the level of the gameplay. We were because the gameplay, by the way, unbelievably dog shit, like to a level that you will never understand unless you've seen a team take a bomb site, T-side overpass, take the bomb site 8 rounds in a row, and then lose the retake 8 rounds in a row. And that was like the first map. That was the first map that set the tone. Admittedly, we were overly negative. Like, I will admit, watching that back, like...
You sure it's not appropriately negative?
It was... Up until the 3rd map, the fact that it went to 3 maps, that was like the end for me. Like, I couldn't handle that this series that was that bad went to a 3rd map. And that's when we were definitely overly negative, and me specifically.
Okay.
At some point I was like, you try and predict these rounds, but this game, you just can't predict these rounds. Like, please forgive us. These rounds are unpredictable. It's just not possible. Nobody knows what's going to happen. Like, shit, like, it was just overly negative.
That doesn't even sound that bad. Pronogo,
it was bad. It was like, I will admit it was overly negative, okay? But what happened is one of the teams complained that we were overly negative. I had actually gone to the team afterwards, but unbeknownst to this guy, I'd gone to the team and said, look, I feel like I was overly negative. I feel bad about it. I'm sorry for that. Like, I was just in a bad place mentally. No excuse. Like, next time we'll be better. Because I felt we had been overly negative.
You sound like one of the teams. You sound like the team saying we were in a bad place. Next time we'll be better.
I just felt bad. Like, because these teams, especially when you look at like collegiate teams or just like lower level teams, they have their friends watch, they have their family watch. This is their chance to get casted. They don't get casted all the time. And so when I can't give them a cast that I can be negative, but I shouldn't.
Constructive, basically. Right?
Yeah, like somewhat constructive. They're not trying to troll. They're just really fucking bad at the game, and it's not like it was also like a shock to me because I'd been casting a lot of MDL, and then I go to like it was like bad open level. Honestly, this game. I think one of the teams seems like they were a lot better than that. Maybe they were just having an like an off night or something. But yeah, it was like a bad open level of gameplay. And it was just a shock to me to some extent. And so, what happened is the reason I feel bad is because like their family's watching, their friends are watching, and they're just like, wow, these casters are just fucking shitting on you, right? But one of the players didn't know that I apologized, and he went and complained and said, we don't want to be on broadcast for the next 6 months. That's what they said. Which is like, if you ever want to say something that's going to get someone fucking fired, is you say that. Like, they will fire the casters immediately for no fucking reason. They will always do it. And this guy, what annoyed me, like, I'm like, talk to the guy. I'm like, I'm over it at this point. But like, I was pretty annoyed where he's like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to get you fired. And I'm like, motherfucker, what did you think was going to happen when you do that, dude? Like, what the fuck went on in your head where you thought that wasn't the outcome when you go to them and say, we don't really, like, you really didn't think that? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, but that's like, they fired us because we were overly negative. But then their fucking tweet, dude, their tweet was like, it was like reprehensible behavior on the broadcast. We apologize. It'll never happen again. People thought I said something racist. They literally, people DM'd me and thought I had said some racist remarks or something because of that tweet. I thought that tweet was like borderline actionably misleading. Like, it was so unbelievably bad. And at that point I never even expected to get paid in the first fucking place. But then the casters that they went to after that, a couple of them messaged me and I told them, look, dude, take this shit at your own fucking peril. I would recommend not taking it because if someone complains about you, they will fire you. But not only that, they will fire you and completely mislead the entire community. Like, just by being like, I think it was trying to be like a typical PR response. But like, you've got to be a little bit more fucking specific than basically making a statement that essentially makes people think I said something fucking racist. Like, that is fucked up, right? And I told the casters not to take it. They fucking took it. What do you know? They didn't get fucking paid. Honestly, to me, that's fucking karma, dude. Like, shoulda fucking listened, buddy. Shoulda listened.
What a mess.
I don't know where I went with that story.
No, you're just giving us more.
Yeah, I mean, they're just looking for they're like, here's the thing. I bet those casters actually did know, like, hey, we could get fucked here. But I bet they were also like,
what else do I have? Yeah.
What else do I have? Like, this opportunity is too good not to take it,
Well, that's the massive problem with those sort of organizations, right? Is they are specifically.
I'm gonna urinate here real quick.
Sorry. There we go. So we could say anything right now, Pronogo. This is where we could do our most controversial content. Have you got any controversial takes?
Fuck you, Semler. No, I don't know. What were you gonna say earlier? Who was continuing on with the story? But you said that's not.
I thought it was a pretty interesting point in general. Like a lot of these collegiate tournaments, they don't even have to put a press release out anyway. It's all a.
It reminds me of that heroic
trip,
shit, doesn't it? Like when
yeah,
they were
exactly.
just like, we disavow racism of all kinds or whatever the fuck.
That's exactly what it is. It is a power trip, and then obviously you've got Grid on the other hand, who their staff member literally broke the law, and they won't put a public statement out. They know that other casters have committed gross misconduct, won't fire them. No public statement will ever come out. It's the two ends of the stick.
We still don't even know why. We still don't know why Grid were even hiring talent as a fucking sponsor /
That's
data
the big
provider.
Question, isn't it? Like,
there's some
why
weird stuff going on. It almost feels like they went above Relog's head in a way, but.
Yeah, we have no idea. Here he goes. He comes back. So
that was a slick slide. That was like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare slide into action. Slide right into the chair. That was good.
Have you been practicing the dance moves, Vu, for when you get back to LAN?
Oh, you're muted.
He's muted. There we go.
I've got the movement. Don't worry. I've got the movement.
He's got the movement there.
Fair
the movement.
All right, I thought his GoXLR was bugging out again.
Yeah.
Fucking GoXLR, dude.
We just got to get you heated up before the next segment. That's all.
Fuck the GoXLR, dude. Fuck it. Fuck the GoXLR.
So, all right.
Don't buy anything.
So
don't buy it from GoXLR. TC Helicon Music Tribe. Don't do it.
I have to ask you, Squid. Then, when Vu was explaining what he has said that was so heinous that got him fired from his job, you were about to say something about us. And what we might say when we are casting a bad team, or we are casting.
Yeah, I was about to say that if we don't get fired for actively trying to get other casters higher rates, we will be fired for saying something bad about a team on broadcast when you're in one of those moods that you often get in when you see some very terrible CS and there's just no good content coming out of this show. That is what ends our career, I think. But it could just be trying to do good things for other people.
Yeah, it could be that. But I think maybe it would even be funnier if we didn't lose our jobs, but instead became instant tier 1 hits by calling out somebody who like jumps off a building on vertigo accidentally or something.
Sure. That's all down to you though. Like, I can't do anything. I've had my years. They've come and gone at this point. This is my one last hurrah. I'm finally taking the talk show offers.
There it is.
That's how you know that you're over. This is basically the equivalent of like Big Brother, right? Celebrity Big Brother, where your career's just going down off the fucking cliff and you're like, I guess I'll do Pronogo's show.
There it is. There's he gets his digs in at all of us. This is style, not just April Fools.
It's non-discriminatory. Yeah. It's all over the place.
I am disappointed that when we casted that Ven Invitational show, Extra Salt versus Triumph, some names people may remember, we did that casting, and Squid obviously had his classic line prepared to dunk on Mitch, one of the analysts, but instead I had to be the one to dunk on him because Squid forgot his line. Or just didn't say it.
I didn't forget my line. I just didn't think it was appropriate given the context. But I was just going to do an Irish accent, basically, and act like he was all confused on the desk and just say, like, oh, where's the abilities? Where's Denko? Yeah. Or something like that. And he just didn't know what was going on. But I just didn't think it was appropriate, Pronogo. So I say it here.
Yeah, okay.
No, not appropriate at all. It was on TV.
It was apparently on some obscure TV station. So that's pretty cool.
I would like to go back and re-highlight that I feel like people inside of esports expect too much from fans.
Oh yeah, we didn't finish that thought because I wasn't even going to say that the fans themselves were responsible.
I've lost hope on the fans. Yeah. It's the industry insiders that I want to get on an even playing field.
Here's what gets me about the fans, right? What gets me about the fans are they basically they are cretins, right? Let's be honest. They are just like these reprehensible characters who spew the most. And again, these are just the fans that engage with us. Like maybe there are fans out there who are silently watching this and they're like, why am I being lumped into this, man? Just keep listening and keep quiet. Don't worry, you're not a part of this. So everybody else though, who actually types on Reddit or whatever, like a lot of those guys tend to be pretty fucking bad people, to be honest. Like they don't bring a lot of value to the conversation. And that's kind of the main issue that I have is as somebody who wants to actually engage with discourse, right? Thorin has this idea, this advice that he gives people where if you expect that you want to like learn how to argue, right? Learn, and he wants you to, as a person who's coming up in the community, to go look at like these Reddit threads and try to actually find some argumentation and maybe counter argue with them, and like just see what the pulse of the community is. Now, I think that's great if what you're looking for is to understand the Redditor on the other side of the screen. But I don't want to understand that. That's like, maybe that's best served for like Jordan Peterson, who wants to understand Hitler. But I don't want to understand the Redditor. I don't want to understand my mortal nemesis. I would prefer to understand other people who
I think it's
respect.
definitely worth understanding your mortal nemesis,
Okay.
because
Let's
a Redditor is essentially, okay, so a Redditor is,
sack of goo.
Redditors are basically just the average human, which is that
Sure.
there's a fucking hive mind. Like there's
Yeah.
a hive mind in just the way people act. When they see something, when they see something and then someone agrees with it, they're what, like fucking 50% more likely to agree with it than if they had just given their own opinion to begin with.
Does that mean they're 50% less likely to not agree with it? If they're only
I guess.
50%
Yeah, I don't know.
likely-
I would have to look at the exact stat. I just know,
Okay,
like,
fair
if
enough.
you see someone say something and someone else agrees, you are much more likely to agree with that than you would if you had just come out of fucking nowhere, right?
Okay.
So that's like one problem that was with Reddit, where like, dude, I saw the worst. I talk about Reddit nades. Someone throw a one-way molly, lower B on nuke, lower on nuke, blow a hole in the door, molly off the wall,
Yeah,
it lands
I
in the
saw
door,
this.
and
I
you saw that?
Yeah.
8K upvotes.
Yeah.
Like that is the classic Reddit molly. And it's just like they don't really know what the fuck is going on. They have no fucking idea what is good and what is bad, what is useful and what isn't. And that is your average viewer. And that doesn't mean that you can't focus on a more advanced viewer when you can, but that means that you have to make stuff understandable for an average viewer, and probably most of the stuff that you say should be recognizable by someone that, if you just look at that molly and then just think, every viewer that I have thinks that is a good molly.
No.
If you just go at it from like that perspective, then you probably are gonna like have a good understanding of what people are gonna like and enjoy. And you don't have to be disingenuous. You don't have to be like, oh, I think that's a fucking great molly, right? But like, getting to the level where like you explain something like why that molly is fucking awful is like, I think it is valuable. I definitely think it's valuable to understand what drives someone on Reddit, what they like to look at, what they enjoy, what they get hype over, and then you can then understand what you can mold your like whatever casting or YouTube or Twitch or whatever towards.
Yeah, okay. So this is the thing, though. This is your content brain at work, where
This-
you're trying
hold
to
on.
optimize.
I want to say one thing.
Okay, let's go.
Yumi hit the flash blinds everyone
Yeah,
on
he
B
got
site.
that
That
one.
Launders clip was fucking gold. They're all blind. What do you mean we're dead? They're all blind. That was a gold. That was like a top. And that got like 50 upvotes on Reddit. Probably because they felt like he was making fun of them, dude. That was so fucking funny. I don't know if you guys both saw that Launders clip. It was so fucking funny.
Oh, it's one of those clips where I'm
There was a
assuming he
Reddit
throws
Reddit
and-
flash
yeah.
that it's like this
Yeah.
blinds all of B
No, I've
site,
seen
and
that.
it was at the top of Reddit, and then Launders throws it because he knows it's shit, and he
Yeah.
throws it. He's like, I got this flash that blinds all of B site. He throws it, and because it's a shit flash, he's out B like 5 seconds later. His whole team dies, and he goes, "What are you talking about? They were all blind." Guys, I'm pretty sure they were all blind.
That must have
Oh,
been
it's
the catharsis
fucking
for all
gold,
of the
dude.
years of looking at terrible Reddit nades on Reddit.
Oh, just the way he delivered it too, dude. Oh, it was fucking choice. That was one of the best Twitch clips I've ever seen, dude. Hands down, that was fucking hilarious.
Shout out Launders. There you go. Yeah, one of the things that I think about, I think you are approaching this from the content optimization machine type thing, whereas maybe this is why I have a leg up in negotiation, Squid. It's something that you postulated yourself. I just don't give a shit. Like, I don't care.
No, you don't give
So-
a single fuck. I'm sat there on my phone like, I've got to go into airplane mode right now because I'm having a heart attack watching this guy potentially lose us all of our income for the next 3 months. And he's just like, yeah, but the other people that you're hiring is shit and whatever. Just straight up. Just not
That's not
like,
what I
not
s-
that bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That isn't exactly what he said.
Well,
just
I
to
did-
be
okay, here's-
rank
You have to
covered.
have that mentality in
Yeah.
negotiations.
Oh, yeah.
like,
that
especially
is,
because
I haven't got it.
Yeah.
okay,
All right, let's hear it, Vu.
stuff in esports, and not even esports, just gaming in general, they note that their average audience skews very young and dumb and full of cum. I mean, desperate.
There it is.
I
I haven't heard that since high school.
they skew desperate. Okay, So what happens is they're gonna fucking pit you against everyone else, and they're gonna make you think that they know what they're doing. Because if you're like an average anything commentator, whatever, you're not a good fucking negotiator. You're gonna be shit, right? So what these companies will do, when it comes to YouTube specifically, for the record, I'll say this in the open fucking air, okay? If you're getting paid for a YouTube video for a 30-second ad, you should be getting somewhere. It really depends, but probably around $10 per 1,000 views you get average on a video. So if you get 100,000 views average on a video, you should probably be getting no less than $800 per video for a 30-second ad. Companies will try to make you fucking feel like that is crazy, and they actually usually pay $100. They will do that because they know it works, and it is effective. You like, unless you just have the confidence, because I've like, after a little bit, I got to the point where I was just like, look, dude, this is my price. You can take it or you can fuck off. Kindly, you can fuck off, like, basically.
Yeah, of course.
And they'll be like, oh, well, you know, these other people's are charging less. These other people are charging less. And it's like, well, some people don't know their fucking value. That's not my problem. Whoa. If you want to go with them, feel free. This is my price. Best of luck. Basically, that's what I say. But people will take their advice as like real advice and not realizing they're basically getting fucking scammed. Like, I know someone that was getting like 10 to 20,000 views a video, getting paid like $50 for full videos, like not a 30-second ad, like a full fucking video. You should be getting paid like fucking 10 times that much.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a gambling sponsor. He should be getting paid like 10 times that much. He just didn't know how much he was supposed to get fucking paid. And when I first got contacted, Gnosis was the first company that contacted me and offered a sponsorship. Shout out to Gnosis. They were pretty reasonable, but they never tell you a price. It would be dumb for them to do, right? But they're never going to give you a price because they're going to let you set your own fucking price because it's always so low. Who the fuck is going to say, I'm out here like, I make 100,000 views a video, so an ad is $1,000. It's zero work for me, by the way. Yeah. Just cut the video and place in an ad, and then move the video back. Like literally 30 seconds of work. No, I would rather not take $500. I think it's worth $1,000. Like, that's just, it's like, if you don't know what you're doing, it's just so fucking unreasonable. Like with casting is a bit different, but with YouTube it just seems so they can fucking scam people.
And that's why agents are so important, right?
Yeah,
like,
100%.
You've just signed with an agent, and I feel like that's something that's totally gone missing in casting. Is
100%.
Obviously, Code Red have kind of taken a backseat after the Red Eye drama, unfair or fair, like make your mind up.
Would you look at day.
But realistically, I think that agents are such a good thing if it's done right, and that's the sort of way to enforce standards. Right now, it is the Wild West in casting.
Well, that's what happens with agents, dude. This is just my impression. I can't say 100% this is the way it is. I think companies fucking hate when you bring in an agent because they know they can't just fucking scam you. They basically, when a company is talking, listen, if certain companies are watching this, and they might be, who knows? They're going to take this as an insult. Listen, I understand the game, okay? What these companies will do
just
is they'll
remove the word company and add the word grid or relog, and then nobody cares.
What these companies with YouTube, what they'll do is they'll get you one contact. It'll just be one person. They'll have a first name as his email. He'll be very nice to you. He'll have back and forth, some banter. He'll be very kind. Then he will try to keep the price as low as possible. And in his mind, this is all business. In your mind, this company now has a personality. It has a face. I like this guy. I don't want to try and charge too much. And even if you're growing as a channel, it's very hard for me where I did the math. Between September and December, I got average 50,000 views a video. Between December and now, I've averaged 99,000 views a video, 97,000. It's hard for me to be like, okay, so I should charge this company double the price. Like, it's hard for me to say that, especially when there's a personable person on the other line. They're like a fucking human being.
This is what I said, Squid. I told you this exact thing when I was on my walk earlier today. Before the show even started, before Vu joined to opt in the call, I said to Squid, I said, I'm very happy that my co-host for this show is none other than Vu, who doesn't seem to care enough about his own career to insulate himself from any of the insane drama, and will actually just feed into it and sometimes do more than even I will do. So it's very, very nice to have a real motherfucker on the show, is all I'm saying.
Well, the thing is, like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, my YouTube's doing well. I don't need esports. So, worst case scenario, I don't work another job. for a TO ever again, and I don't give a fuck. Like, fuck it, whatever.
There you go.
Have you heard about
on the
Ridge
other
Wallet, though?
hand,
Oh, here we go, Squid.
I, on the other hand, kind of need to work for TOs at some point. Only a couple of them. That's fine. I
Maybe
don't have
only
to work
one.
with all of them, Pronogo. Maybe only one. That is the big question.
That is the question. So my strat so far is just to continuously negotiate our prices up. And then when they're like, we would like to sign you for 8 months of the year, can we lower prices? I lower it by like way less than what it's been negotiated up to.
Honestly, I've been considering raising my prices when they want to do that, because actually what they're doing is they're locking you down for a year, which is actually beneficial to them more so than it's like beneficial to you a lot of the time, because you know, bigger TOs might come around and might want to pay you more and you have to say no. That's actually a huge fucking problem. If like a TO comes around, like ESL comes around and wants to hire you guys and you can't because you're locked down to fucking grid or some shit, right? Like that's a big fucking deal. Yeah. Oh yeah, the one thing I wanted to say about Cloud9, I forgot. Yeah. This is the same thing. So unless they pay you up front, and by the way, I want to shout out Leadify for being like basically paying up front, because that if a company doesn't pay up front, for like if you have a fucking agreement for a long period of time, they can just fucking exit. That's what I said when Furia came around and did 5-year contracts. I'm like, dude, there is no benefit to the fucking players ever. There is no benefit. If it's a bad financial opportunity or investment, we're exiting fucking Counter-Strike. See ya, contracts void, like peace out, right? And the players, what? You either have a 2-year contract. Well, it's a fucking 2-year contract as a jail cell, dude. Like this parachute is a backpack. Like I'm falling like a rock, dude. Like like what's happening with supposedly what's happening with fucking Bubsky, right? He's got a contract. He's not fucking playing. His contract doesn't mean fuck all, dude. He's just they'll pay him up until the point where they don't think it's a good investment, and then they'll fucking drop his ass, or they'll sell him for his money back. That's a 2-year contract. The only reason that someone should ever sign a 2-year contract as a player is because they wouldn't get on the team otherwise. That's the only reason. Otherwise, the shorter the contract, the better. Like it really is. Fucking, if they don't want you, they're getting rid of you regardless.
Well, that's the other aspect to this as well, about like paying up front versus not paying. Like for what got me was ZywOo entered into like a 3-year long contract or something recently with Vitality. And it's the same heartbreak I feel when Simple and Electronic enter into 2-year contracts with Navi or re-sign with them or whatever. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, come on, surely you guys can just enter in. Just now, every single time you want to extend my contract, more money, and it's every 6 months, motherfuckers, because I could go anywhere I want because I'm Simple or I'm ZywOo. Now,
I think part of it doesn't make any sense whatsoever, because they've got all of the power in that relationship. Yeah. There's no way that they could ever be forced into signing for 2-3 years. Like, obviously, the ex-VP guys, what did they sign? Wasn't it something insane, like 5 years? The old VP roster?
The Polish ones, you mean?
I think they were like 3 or 4, weren't they?
I feel like it was a landmark contract.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I think like 3 years at that time was like definitely landmark. It was like, dude, esports is totally different in 3 years. I think companies now have realized that the longer you sign the players, the better, because you can just fucking cancel your esports division. And what are the fucking players gonna do? Oh, we're withdrawing from CS. And the players now are fucking thankful that this company isn't like, we're exiting CS. By the way, you're on your bench clause. We're gonna sell you, dude. The players are fucking. They're if the team is gonna say we want to terminate the contract mutually, the players are like, thank fucking God that you're not just gonna sit me in contract jail for the next fucking year. That's what the players are thinking. So it's so easy for them just to exit and say, well, we'd like to mutually terminate. And the players are like, fuck yes, let's mutually terminate. So that you've got no fucking upside, man. You've got no upside. Oh, it's so
especially
bad.
If you've just got rid of your CS division. Obviously, what we famously saw years ago, the first time that I personally was privy to this was obviously the Smooya Epsilon contract, where they kept him on the bench. They didn't, and they were trying to sell him for an exorbitant fee. Like, they were trying to sell him for like a crazy amount of money, supposedly way above his market value, and wasn't letting him play CS otherwise. That was the first time that we really saw that. They got absolutely slammed publicly. I'm pretty sure that Richard Lewis at the time helped Smooya, which shows how times change, right, Pronogo?
There it is.
Where you can maybe help somebody and then it's not always repaid in good faith. later down the line or even acknowledged whatsoever. So obviously that kind of turn of events happened, but we've seen it so many times in CS. That was just kind of the first that
it's super common now.
Yeah.
I think people have started to realize, like, the Stewie thing is the perfect example of why it's just reasonable for teams to not give away players for free. They used to give away players for free. Stewie goes to MIBR, 6 months later he goes to Liquid, and Liquid is the best team in the world. So Cloud9 gave away one of their best players, probably their best player at the time, I think, right? For free to MIBR, for him to turn around and join their opposition, their direct competitor in North America, for sponsors, for money, everything, and fucking make them the best team in the world. That's like, you can't have that. You just can't have that. You need to make something off of that player. And it sucks for the fucking player, but it's just reality, and that's why short contracts are better. And I wanted to say about the ZywOo thing, I think when it comes to players like ZywOo and Simple, it's literally just peace of mind. I think it's just peace of mind. Like, for me, if a company wants to sign me for 3 or 6 months or something for an agreement, or like 5 or 10 videos for an agreement for a sponsorship, it's not that I couldn't make more. In fact, I most certainly could make more by going video by video, and I would get more, as many sponsors. It's just that I don't have to think about it for 3 or 6 months, and I think that's really beneficial for a player like Simple or ZywOo, who's gonna fucking sit out the contract anyways. If you just don't have to think about money for 2 years, and you can just focus all your thought on the game. And even if it's not like actually actively negotiating, but even thinking about, what am I going to make next month? What is going to happen? Maybe they're going to trade me or something, like all this shit. You just don't want to think about it. Like, I can really understand them doing it. It's the players that aren't going to play for the same team for 2 years. So basically everyone other than a top 5 player that shouldn't do that.
Well, what gets me about Simple... Listen, hold on.
Let's be honest as well. Okay, I'll let you go.
You're telling me it's about peace of mind. I buy that maybe for ZywOo, although latest results don't look too hot. You're telling me Simple's
got a fucking AK to the back of his head. Dude. Like, Simple's not going anywhere, buddy.
Okay.
Simple's not going fucking anywhere.
My joke was Simple has peace of mind when he's trapped in the same fucking team as Flamey, and then Boomich.
It's okay.
The only calls Boomich is making is to fucking McDonald's for delivery. You fuck. That's not peace of mind.
Don't hate on the McDonald's delivery, buddy. All right.
There it is. It's almost like we set that up, but that was totally impromptu. All right,
don't hate on the McDonald's delivery, buddy.
What's your take, Squid?
I actually can't remember at all. I've completely forgotten it. With all of the McDonald's, I just remembered that maybe I should eat something today. I've got sausage rolls in the fridge. Maybe that should be the go-to. I can't remember what I was about to say. It was something about these contracts, right?
Maybe for other players who aren't top 5 or something. Was that
like?
Something?
Oh no! I know the point. It's obviously the same for casters, right? The most stressful thing that we do in the whole of our business, apart from everybody in the industry, apart from Pronogo, like everybody else in the industry, negotiation is by far the most stressful thing that I personally do, apart from maybe just petty industry politics. That can be a little bit stressful as well if you don't have a mute list on Twitter. Realistically, negotiation is the worst. So to maybe undersell yourself ever so slightly to say, okay, maybe I don't have to do this negotiation bullshit for the rest of 2021, that could actually be seen as quite a good deal for a considerable number of people. And then the point that Vu mentions earlier of, if you're not going to get on that broadcast or team anyway, unless you sign under predatory terms, then maybe you should be talking to your colleagues, talking to other players. Hey, should we all be signing this, or should we just all come together and say, all right, 6-month contracts, that's it. And then hopefully, if you've got that self-belief within you, you're not going to sign a crazy contract like that.
Yeah. I think the contract length is the biggest issue usually.
Yeah, I think, well, it used to be that the contracts were predatory as fucking themselves, and then the teams wouldn't even fucking pay half the time, but then the other teams were all doing the same thing, so like you had no choice. And then when it comes down to it, like at a certain level, like if you're a tier 4, I don't know how you're going to define the tiers. If you're like a low MDL team or a top advanced team, a lot of the time the chance that you get paid is better than the alternative, which is the certainty that you don't get paid.
Yeah.
Like, so it's, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it. Esports is in a much better place than it used to be, because it really did used to be like fucking NACS in 2009-ish, 2008, 2009, 2010. It was like there was two teams that you went to that most teams went to. Well, there was Dynamic, which was a legit team. There was like CyberRev, which was basically a team run by, I think, by Nearcry, who is, I think he's just like an upper middle class guy. Like, I don't think he actually is like, it's not a real fucking, well, I guess it was a real org at some point, but it was basically just him sponsoring people he liked because he had a bit of money.
Yeah.
You had Blight Gaming, which, no joke, everyone knew was a scam. No, there was nobody that didn't know it was a scam, but they kept getting fucking teams. They had 2 teams at some point. Everyone knew they were scamming everyone. Well, they weren't like, I guess, can it even be called a scam if everyone knows they're not going to pay up anyways? Like, is it a scam anymore?
Is it like a Quantum Bellator Fire type thing? Like, that's what they've come under fire
yeah,
for
with the new team. Well, yeah. I suppose we should caveat that there's disputes about that, right? About Windstrike was supposed to pay or something. And that you could argue that maybe that's why Windstrike's team is no longer there. Maybe they found out that Windstrike was obligated to pay and Windstrike didn't, and that's why they terminated their contract.
Be, yeah.
It's not come out. I don't know. Maybe you guys know and you're not allowed to say. But I would just say that it's possible there's something. But yeah, it's similar is what the community understands that. It's just like the certainty of not getting paid is worse than maybe getting paid. So like Blight had 2 fucking teams. And then like what was there other than that? Like those were the only NA orgs. Oh yeah, there was Micah Gaming. Micah, by the way, is banned for 1,000 years. Micah is banned from ESCA for 1,000 years because there was some things that came out that were very Bluminator-esque, if I remember correctly.
1,000 years. I think the only other time I've seen that in esports is that Apto guy from League of Legends who match fixed.
No, the other one would be Bluminator.
Oh, okay.
The other one would, and anyone associated with Micah, by the way, was also banned for 1,000 years, which included some people that were like really not very associated. It was just like they were all banned for 1,000 years by our Lord and Savior LP Kane. Like that's what fucking happened. So that was the other org. Like it was at a point where like people just they just had to like opt in to maybe losing money because there was no other option. Thankfully, esports is in a much better place. For teams, at least, it seems like for some of the smaller TOs, it kind of is for not even for the TOs, but for the casters, it kind of is a position like that sometimes. I think
definitely. Can we just have a database already with all of the teams and all of the TOs and put some of these disputes where there is solid evidence public? Like, isn't that just a good idea? Like, inarguably, where you do have this sort of portal. Okay, right, I'm a UK CS team. Let me have a look at this history. Because a lot of the time, the players don't have massive platforms, especially in UK CS, which is obviously the region that maybe I come from. I obviously live in the UK, but haven't worked a lot within. That, yeah, you do know about these organizations. Can't we have a public document of these orgs who indisputably scam their teams? Because obviously this is something that came up with us with some of these casters in the Grid story, in the Snow Sweet Snow story, of course. It's something that we realize there is no kind of recompense here for the players. Yeah, they can put out tweets. You can put out a tweet every day of your fucking life, but as soon as you get blocked by that person, it's likely not getting signal boosted. Journalists don't really seem to give a fuck about a lot of this stuff unless the story is massively current. Why isn't there a database out there? Not just for team owners, but for TOs as well, tournament organizers as well. Where, okay, right, there were these payment disputes, okay, they've been sorted out. There's no regulatory body for any of this either. We were talking about the simplest things, such as sticker money the other day, Pronogo.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Valve just be paying the players directly? If the goal is to give players money from the sticker money, why doesn't Valve just pay the cash into their bank accounts? Any reason?
Yeah, well, the team-specific stickers that are just the team's logo could also go directly to the team if they wanted to still pay the team specifically, right? So
that's a fantastic idea, but like obviously you've got these QB Fire allegations which are spiraling around, which seem very legitimate on face value about specifically sticker money. What happens if they get into the major next time? Valve, again, asleep behind the wheel. They're not going to do anything about it, so someone surely should. ESIC can't do everything in the space. They can't be regulating match fixing and cheating and payment disputes from TOs and then the other TOs and then whatever other acronyms you've got. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and we've got nobody kind of holding this all together.
Well, you have brought us directly to the next topic, which is
I'm the king of segues.
Hold on. No. Let me say this loops full circle to these fucking kids where I'm like, Listen, all right, if you were to believe me, okay, GoXLR, all right, my GoXLR I paid $650 for, broke in 2 months, and they're not fucking replacing it for me. And other people are out here like, well, mine worked, so I'm gonna go ahead and buy another. Like, it's like, as long as it didn't happen to me, it's not a problem. Like, no, listen, man, whenever you buy one, you're gambling that it could break. So on average, what happens is if you buy one and there's a 10% chance that this shit breaks and they don't replace it, you've lost $60. If it's a $600 purchase, it's a 10% chance. But it's always like, it didn't fucking happen to me, so it doesn't matter. It's the same thing I mentioned with CSL. It's the same shit with this fucking GoXLR, okay? It's trash company. Don't buy a GoXLR. Fuck TC Helicon and Music Tribe. I don't even know if it's TC Helicon. It's fucking Music Tribe. But everyone's like, oh, it works fine for me. Not a big deal. And I'm like, the response up mine said, well, mine works fine. I'm really happy with it. And I go, listen, man, if you want to gamble, I'm not going to be mad at you. But if it goes wrong, you were gambling. Understand that. Like, that was basically my response. Like, if you bought it, it's fucking gamble. Okay, don't buy Scarlet either. I agree, they're fucking trash. My Scarlet fucking 2i2 was so fucking dog shit. However, their support, I put an Amazon thing in where I gave it like 2 stars and I said, look, it was inconsistently working over USB. It was just not a very good product. They were very fast to offer me a new one. Okay, so I will say, like, at the very least, even if the product that I got, which was a very old version of the 2i2, I've heard it doesn't have those problems anymore. You can see that I'm reasonable. I'm a reasonable human, okay? It didn't work very well for me. I made a fucking review on it. I said it wasn't good. They responded. They offered a new one. I'm reasonable, man. Like, I'm not trying to be a dick here, all right? They had reasonable customer support, but fuck GoXLR, okay? But it comes full circle.
I feel like we've got the full spectrum here. We have got chaotic good down, obviously on stage middle, I guess, and then you, chaotic neutral, I guess, Pronogo, and then I have to be chaotic evil.
You told me this earlier, but I still don't even know what is evil about. Is it just because you see like a drama, a story unfolding?
It's because I've got a fucking victim complex, Pronogo.
No, is it because you see this story developing as I release like burn after burn on Kieran, and then you're like, how can I use this to my event? I know, I'll take a picture of a vegetable called a leek and tweet that out and say the grid has found the leek. Yeah, I guess that is kind of evil.
0 likes.
Maybe one of them. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. Hold on. Exner said, I'm glad I avoided the GoXLR. Exner, what I would recommend you do is you email GoXLR support and tell them that you avoided it specifically because Vu CSGO, which is DonnieParr@gmail.com, by the way, who has been in contact with their support. But by the way, in order to send in a ticket, by the way, they have a question. Are you a social media influencer? Link us your channels. Which is what fucking that double tilted me, dude. That shit double tilted me because it's like, motherfucker, you know I make YouTube videos and you're still doing this. Well, like, how are you fucking over this, like the guys that don't have a YouTube channel? If this is how you're fucking me, dude, you're bending my ass over, dude. I am bent over right now, and you know I'm a content creator. You know I'm gonna say this shit, okay?
What gets me about, you obviously talked about like, oh, it didn't happen to me. So my segue here is some people say it didn't happen to me, so I'll just jump right in and buy the product. Some players say they didn't match fix in my team, so they must be fine. I'll jump into a team with them, which is the latest to come out of the North American and maybe worldwide match fixing fiasco, which now involves, in addition to ESIC, the FBI. Here we go, boys. What do we think about this latest report? I have been critical, maybe more in private than on this show, of ESIC, where ESIC seemed to just be content to, I mean, obviously they're a small team, but they won't even give us any status updates. They don't seem to do too many interviews. I know a guy who does interviews. It's on the same fucking channel you're watching this on. So it would be nice if maybe they do some interviews. Maybe they just talk about some stuff. And when I say do some interviews, I don't mean for the main guy, the Ian, I forget his last name guy, unfortunately, because I do know prep.
Lavery, I think.
He's like, I think his his Twitter bio is something Bristol lawyer, I think, or something like that. So
I think it's Ian Lavery.
Yeah, whoever that guy is, I don't mean stand up and then talk into like a webcam from 1998 because that was the audio quality. Ideally, I would like you to sit down with me and maybe have a real mic. But either way, whatever we end up going with, like do something, show off some information, you know, at least give us something to latch onto. So
honestly,
we know that
I don't think they even know like who to interview with, because it seems like from what I can tell, it looks like this /32 guy made a video on like a likely fixed match from MDL, and 2 days later he's doing an interview. So either he went from there and contacted them, or they saw that and they talked to him. Like it looks like, you know.
Wait, so I should just make a video where I react to all of the players from Skate doing stupid shit in their matches, and then I will get some information. You mean is that how easy it is? I can just say, "Oh, look at Denny Slaw. He's scoped up and he's AFK and he gets headshot from some guy who doesn't even play the game properly." Wow, that's crazy. I wonder if this was a fixed match. Yeah, maybe that's what
what's funny is that what I thought was really funny is 4Pack deleted his Twitter. Okay? Like, I'm not saying he definitely fixed, but like it seems like the community opinion is he probably fixed. That seems to be what everyone is implying. So I'll just say that that's like the community stance. He deleted his Twitter. Listen, man, if you fixed, why in what fucking universe is now the time you delete your fucking Twitter?
Maybe this is points against the idea that he fixed. Maybe he didn't fix.
Brain cells you have to have, dude. You think like at this point they didn't? If you had anything incriminating on your Twitter, they didn't have it fucking saved at the point where they say we haven't been able to put out information recently because we've been working with the FBI. And then you go, oh shit, the FBI, they must have just now contacted them. I better delete my Twitter. Are you fucked in the head, dude? Like at the time to delete your Twitter was the moment that you knew that they were coming out. Like it was before, by the way, it was before. But the time when it would have been acceptable to delete your Twitter was the moment they said we're working on a match fixing report. 6 fucking months ago, when they come out and say they're working with law enforcement, and they have been. If your Twitter had fucking anything, dude, it was done. It's done. You're fucking archived. You're fucked. Like, oh, the lack of fucking brain cells. I mean, I guess like you may as well delete it. Like, there's no reason to keep it up. But dude, how fucking dumb, dude. Just like.
Well, apparently we've got Exner in the chat saying he didn't delete his Twitter. He just changed the handle, which might even be even stupider, to be honest.
Okay. I don't even fucking know, dude. It's just like, someone posted.
Change it to
it seems like
definitely not a match fixer.
No, that would
FBI look away.
He can't listen, Squid. You can't tell lies on the internet.
No, apparently.
I can't believe someone was like.
Is that a rule as of April 2nd?
Yeah.
I can't believe someone was like, the FBI is involved and has been for a few months. Time to hide my Twitter. Like,
yeah, pretty good.
Oh fuck, dude. Oh,
that was the thing that shocked me is when I was interviewing Richie Lew about this sort of exact thing about the ESIC and like all this stuff. This is way back a couple months ago, and he was saying like there's these people who think that they're in the clear and they're not, and there are law enforcement agency. He didn't say FBI. I don't even know if this was the case back then, but I was shocked to hear from him that apparently players are just sat there like, well, I did all that match fixing. Maybe I'll even do some more, but now I can play Valorant or whatever. Like, fucking hell. I don't think that's how that works, man. I
wonder how the players are feeling though, because I feel like a lot of people have been in a scenario like maybe when you were a fucking kid where like you knew you fucked up. It's like fucking an animal breaks a fucking plant and they know they fucked up, but like, what are they gonna do? They're gonna wait for their fucking owner to get home and then they're gonna get fucking yelled at. Like that's usually what's gonna happen. And so they're just sitting there in dread, just like, oh, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm fucked. Yeah. Like I remember I got in trouble when I was like fucking 14. I got in trouble at school, like pretty clear trouble. Okay. And I was like, I want to go to my dad's place, and I didn't tell my mom why. Like I'm just like, I don't want to be home anymore. Like just let me hide from the consequences.
I thought this was going to be the story of you at school when there were two really small people fighting each other.
and you were like, I can use this when I'm
I
casting.
swear to God, I didn't know midget
This'll
boxing was a
come in
thing when I made that
handy.
comment. And if I did, I never would have made the comment.
When
But
you told me, I had no idea what it
I
was.
would like to
Maybe there's
highlight
a
that they
problem
did not
here.
pile drive
No.
on.
Well,
Nobody
just
gave
a
nobody
couple of
gave a
fucking
fuck. It
people.
was just the excuse. It was just
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
why
It
did
looks
you get
really
fired? Nobody
bad,
fucking
though.
knows.
Yeah.
It must have been the midget boxing thing. That's like that.
Yeah.
In my case, it was. I guarantee you it had nothing to do with the midget boxing. comment.
Yeah, but it is
that
just it's just the way.
It was
that they
very
said it,
unfortunate that
yeah.
that comment had to have been said. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but when they say unacceptable conduct on broadcast,
Yeah,
the way that
exactly,
they frame
exactly.
it's not unlike the way that ESL talk about Thorin in their press release. They're like, we do not tolerate racism or hateful behavior or whatever, because he's just like, Poland is a shitty country.
yeah. Well, he was also like. It's kind of like me with Tea Time when I said Liquid's gonna be top 2. It was like I was pushed into this. like I was trying to come over the top. I was trying to make a bold statement, and then it was like just snowballed, right? I think
Tea
that's
Time's
what
just
kind of
like,
happened
I was
there.
a choker, and you're like, how the fuck do I top this ridiculous hot take? Oh god,
Dude, the cunt thing though. This cunt thing. Oh,
okay, here
dude.
we go.
Oh,
Holy
yeah, let's
fuck.
get into this.
Okay, so if anyone didn't know, this could be for all I know. This is because I know that like apparently Volkswagen said that something made an April Fool's joke. Said it directly. It's not an April Fool's joke, but it was an April Fool's joke.
Yeah,
And this is what this feels like.
Yeah,
because
sure.
the Toronto Ultra for Call of Duty will be having pro player Cammy undergo. This is a tweet from Jake Sucky. Call of Duty pro player Cammy undergo sensitivity training and donate to a local shelter for his use of the word cunt in a tweet last night. This is not an April Fool's joke. Listen, okay, I know like it's people understand the term like mentally ill and deranged. Richard Lewis says a lot. Whichever one of the people that work for fucking Toronto Ultra that said, I don't like the word cunt, it's now offensive, is both mentally ill and deranged. They need to seek professional help immediately. They need a fucking psychologist to help them, because the fact that you can say, I don't like this word, it's now offensive, and you can run with that, and then for like the people that agreed and were like, yeah, I agree, are dumb. But like I feel like there's sometimes like when it comes to a company, there's sometimes just like agreement culture where it's just like, I don't want to disagree with this guy because then I look like I'm a fucking racist, or I'm like I'm sexist, right? It can get to that. Whoever agreed is dumb, but whoever fucking came up with this, that was the first person that said, guys, I think he needs to delete this tweet, this is offensive. That person needs fucking serious psychological fucking help. They are mentally ill. They have serious fucking problems. Like really.
Do we know the
they're
context
fucked.
of the original tweet? Was it even said in, I guess it was a derogatory way, X person is a cunt. I'm sure that was said.
Yeah,
Like, do we
I
even know
guess
what
like
was said?
I don't know. Can we find what was said? What was said?
Maybe somebody
Like,
in the chat can tell us. Because I think that the context is really important here, right? If he
you're right. I
was-
didn't even look for the context. I just figured he just used the word cunt. But you're actually right. Like, there
Yeah.
could be context where it is very offensive, but like not. It's like
But just a
it's
PR
the
fucking
tweet that's
disaster.
offensive. It's like
Because
it's like
this is grandstanding to the extreme, where you're saying, right, this is the reason why this guy has to go through sensitivity training, and we all hold ourselves to a higher moral standard. We would never say the word cunt. We would never say anything bad on Twitter, XYZ. Like this one was especially ridiculous, and I would like to see the context. To be honest with you, I don't know if Pronogo's got it.
He
or
also
somebody can
tweeted
whip it
last
up.
night. I posted I posted using a word that is completely unacceptable. While I didn't mean offense, I know words matter and have consequences. I take full responsibility and wholeheartedly apologize.
It's not
I will
even a
work with my
derogatory
team.
word. It's not even like a
Yeah, it's not
racist
a fucking
word or
offensive word.
discriminatory
It's just
word.
another fucking swear, dude. Like that's the thing, because I like this is like when ESEA banned. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say the R word on stream.
You can say
I think I'm
retard
allowed
on
to-
Twitch.
Yeah, okay. They banned it. If you say that, you can get kicked from a pug. They banned it in like 2017 before I even understood that there were people that were offended by this. And the thing that like the first thought that popped into my mind was, never has someone been shit talking me, and it's kind of bothered me. And the word retard was what really got to me. It was they could have just walked around. They could have just never fucking said that. Like it was the other shit. It's the tone. It's like the constant fucking harassment. That's what's bothered me. Saying retard was not what bothered me. Like now I kind of understand, because it definitely has been like a societal movement to move away from that, and I can kind of understand moving away from it. But I just remember it's like that's not what really hurt me at all because it's like not offensive to me. And it's the same thing with this cunt thing. Like you could have made a very offensive fucking tweet, but cunt wasn't what made it offensive, right? Like that's not the, it's the other shit, you know?
Okay, I've got two things to say on this one. The first one is it's a very broad point that has actually quite little to do with this specific example. You talked about the movement to move away from words like retard or words like whatever that are offensive. The problem is if you move away from words, there's just new words that take their place and then eventually get the same fucking connotations. So like for a while, I think like retarded was actually a mental condition. Like it was used by doctors and so on.
Yeah, that's why like there is people trying to move away from it is because it was a literal, like I think it was a literal mental diagnosis.
Yeah, and they can't use it anymore because now it's been profaned in that sense. But then people trying to move away from that it'll just get replaced by some other word that describes it. Like there'll be maybe some more complex word, whatever. Like there's the whole George Carlin bit about how language gets more like complex and removed from everything.
Well, here's the thing. Like I know that my brother has like something my brother used to say was he would call people droolers. He's like, he's a fucking drooler.
Okay.
And if you really think about it, like honestly, that's more offensive.
That is actually
that does like if you really think about the meaning behind it, that really does sound more offensive. But I mean, I can understand it, like just moving away from words that like maybe, you know, if there's a large enough segment of society that is like, I don't want to use the word triggered, but like kind of triggered by it, right? Like it's something that does cause them emotional distress.
Sure, yeah.
I can understand trying to move away from it. Like I'm personally like, I think sometimes it goes too far, but I can understand trying to avoid words like that where it's just going to cause someone some undue mental like stress. But yeah, I mean, there is a point. Sorry, you were
My ultimate point on that subject is just that the more you move away from it, it's an inescapable paradox where you're like eventually every single word is going to have some ridiculous connotation that you're triggered by. So like, again, maybe some of the language here is too far or whatever. Maybe it sounds like I'm talking about something way above the depth of what this conversation is, but to me, it just feels like there's no point in trying to avoid that stuff. My other point is I do think Doug Stanhope had the best take on something like this, specifically with the word cunt. Actually, there's a joke that he has that I'll butcher right now trying to retell it, which is something to the effect of if you didn't have all the fucked shit in your head fed to you by society on this particular subject, somebody says, "Hey cunt," you'd say, "Oh, my name is Sally, but I have a kind of like a, you know, funny face. People say that they confuse me for other people. How can I help you today at my job?" Like that, you would just react as if it was another word instead of it being so like laden with power. And I know some of the same argumentation is actually used against the N-word to say that. People often levy the same kind of defense perhaps than that, but you don't even get to fall back on the historical context angle with cunt because it's just not even used for that purpose. So for me, like, we give enough power to a word that doesn't even have any history behind it in the role that it's being used for. It just seems really pointless. The idea that you're going to try to cancel somebody, especially
let me hit you with an extremely hot cancelable take.
Here's the cancelable take. You're just telling them
if you were considering buying a GoXLR, if you were actually considering buying a GoXLR, if you were actually considering buying one, then let them know that this is prevented you from buying one. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Well, there's a YouTube video
and specifically you can say you're going to go with one of their competitors like Yamaha.
Yeah.
Not Behringer though.
No,
that is their company. They own that company.
That was my VU slide, by the way.
There, you did attempt it, yeah. So before you decided to depart for your bathroom break, I had a perfect segue from the back of cancel culture, from stuff from years ago, because I was going to segue to you about EFL. And unfortunately, you left for the bathroom, so that segue is ruined now. Somehow, though, at least the segue was there. Almost all of these different subjects have been perfect flowing. So yeah, it's been pretty good.
We could have got onto it at any point during this thing, because obviously the EFL debacle was something that came up during this Kieran situation, right? Where certain people decided to kind of pile on me when we were doing good things, of course. And maybe there's an argument to address some of the EFL stuff and talk about my time there. I don't think that it's actually right to give like a proper public apology or anything, because you know what? Certain commentators who worked for EFL were actually put in a poor position, maybe a worse position, but none of us at the company did know that at the time. We were all, the whole staff, effectively working for free. There were no contracts. There was a very predatory NDA. And this is the first time that I'm actually allowed to talk about any of this. I was under an NDA. They've failed to provide me with that non-disclosure agreement countersigned. So I can go now on the record and talk about any element of that company that I so desire. Out of certain levels of respect, I will not. I will talk about certain parts of it. I can talk about my own working conditions, though, because that can't even be covered by an NDA, even at the best of times. When there is one countersigned, you cannot cover working conditions. Imagine a world when you did. Obviously, we covered this in the Kieran scenario when talking about pay, talking about working hours. We worked for no wage. The majority of the people at that company, I'll talk about my conditions. I worked for no wage. I did. I slept on a sofa bed. We worked 18-hour days, 7 days per week. Maximum, maybe it would be 16 sometimes. Sometimes on a Sunday, there'd be a bit of time off. But nevertheless, everything that we were doing, we were doing in good spirit, in good faith. We thought that this was an opportunity. We saw the things that they were doing with certain TV channels and with the British Army and different partners, and we thought this is a really good thing. And I do think that organization does a couple of good things. It's not good for me, and I don't think it's good from a Counter-Strike commentary perspective. And I would say, don't work for that company if you're a CSGO commentator. I think it's a bad company to work for in terms of career development, and the harm that it's done to my career is like uncalculatable. There are certain TOs who will just never hire me, would never speak to me because of my time at EFL, when effectively we did nothing wrong apart from being naive. And that is the big problem with like cancel culture. And it goes like directly on from cancel culture, right? Because certain people have tried to cancel me and literally making up lies, by the way, like provable lies about certain parts of this, which is way beyond the realm of what I imagined. Obviously, we saw, I don't think I should call out many people, apart from one guy who does actually have a platform, Strong Legs, Pronogo, because Strong Legs is pretty much a disgruntled asshole who did all of these tweets after match fixing himself, provably lied about it. Why is it any surprise that somebody like that would lie again? Obviously, you can go through the tweets yourself. There were plenty of other just blatant lies out there that people, if they do follow Twitter, if they do just tune in every week or every couple of weeks or whatever, you will just know that some of the things that were said about me were provable lies. So it is disgusting. The one part that we do have to take responsibility for was our naivety. We should have known better that, okay, working for exposure, working for no money, these promises later down the line is not good enough. And I would just hope that somebody in the future, whether it be EFL, I would imagine it wouldn't be, but a different organization, just learn that lesson. Don't take those offers unless you absolutely have to. And I was, to be honest, at that point in my career, I didn't have to. I wasn't forced to work for them. When I decided to leave the company, that was acceptable. Like they didn't force me to stay. There was no contract to hold me in place. It was a very reasonable exit, I must say. So I don't hold any bad blood between the EFL guys. It was bad for career development, but realistically, it taught me a lot about the industry, about myself. Working in such kind of brutal conditions is actually very good for your character development. Is there, maybe that's the wrong term, but career development in that sense, teaching you to work, teaching you to do certain bits. Would I recommend it? No, I wouldn't. As I've said multiple times in this talk show and out on Twitter and in private multiple times to everybody who's asked me, do I work for this company? I've said no.
So there you go.
Are there any things that maybe you've seen online that I've missed out there, Pronogo, as well?
About
that
what?
I could get into, just about the EFL scenario? Because I want to make sure that I'm touching the important bases here. Because it's something I've never talked about publicly. It's something I've not been allowed to talk about publicly.
No, I mean, I think those were the major public allegations.
Actually, that's not true. It was something I was allowed to talk about publicly, but didn't know because I thought the NDA that was in place was enforceable. It absolutely isn't. Multiple lawyers have confirmed that.
That's a commonplace thing, isn't it? The whole unenforceable NDA, unenforceable contract, especially with some of these less than sublime companies out there seem to be doing that. So yeah, I mean, it just giving you the opportunity to sort of clear that out anyway.
Yeah.
But
Can we talk about Infinity? Listen,
what's Infinity? Talk us to us.
On the topic of GoXLR, listen, Infinity.
It's back on.
Infinity, premium ads on your YouTube channel. Hi, my name is blank, and I am content acquisition specialist at Infinity, Infinity.
Okay.
These motherfuckers have emailed me. Okay, in the last 2 months, I've gotten 20 emails from Infinity from 4 different people. That means each of them has followed up every 3 days, 5 times a piece, until I tell them to fuck off. That's what I say. I say, listen, I'll tell you the dates. The last one, 7 days ago, 4 days ago, 3 hours ago, and then 3 hours ago, Voo CSGO, fuck off, period. Like, that's what I tell them because they won't fuck off. Oh my God, fuck off, dude. Like, my email is literally voo@coderedesports.com. Could it be any more obvious, dude? Like, they must be they must be bots, but it's different names every time. I've gotten 4 different people since February 1st. I don't know, man. It's got to be a scam. The fact that they're sending this many emails, my professional advice, don't ever fucking sign up with Infinity, dude. They're gonna fucking scam.
What are they supposed to be? What are they selling?
They're a fucking content. I guess they're a fucking MCN or whatever, multi-channel.
Oh, okay. They want to add you to their.
Dude, you don't need to sign with MCNs. Don't do it. Fuck Infinity. Like, they're just Jesus Christ. Fuck off, dude. Like, if I need to tell you to fuck off because you keep fucking.
It's probably not a great deal if they're going to email you 30 times about it, or however often you said. Like,
I mean, they've sent a lot of emails in the past. Okay, hold on. Actually, August, October, November, December, February, March. They're just fucking getting more. Listen, man.
So they had a month off in January.
Yeah,
they had a fucking month off in January, I guess. The other ones though are unique emails. They didn't respond and go, hey, again, I know I emailed you only a couple of days ago, but I'm very eager to discuss some monetization and brand development opportunities we have available. Oh, shit.
There it is. Well, that does get us to a pretty comfortable time at this point. So I was wondering if there were there any other last minute things? We did talk about a lot of stuff. Nothing related to Counter-Strike, of course. If people didn't get the subtext, that was the April Fool's prank that we didn't touch on a single game of CS. We just talked about the industry shit the whole way through. So maybe towards the end we could talk about a single CS and CS game, but I don't know if that's even pertinent or if there's even a point. It goes
against the episode completely, doesn't it? I feel like, did we not really touch on the ESIC?
Oh yeah, that is true. We just talked about FBI and then 4Pack changing his Twitter handle and
yeah, because you were kind of contrary to them, weren't you? You've been very critical of them over the last couple of weeks, especially.
Mostly privately, but when I did touch on them publicly, it was basically saying we need some information on this. It would be nice. And then, of course, eventually they do come out and they I mean, obviously I did a bunch of banter about that guy's lack of a microphone, despite the fact that he's running ESIC.
Yeah, but Ian Smith. I called him Ian Lavery for some reason.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Ian Smith.
Common surname.
For some reason, you know what? I was actually thinking that it reminded me of Scott Smith, who's obviously Sir Scoots. And for some reason, I was about to say, not Smith, but like Ian Scott or something, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, either way, that guy, I did banter him a little bit at the beginning of that segment, and then I never finished it or clarified it. So maybe he just sees that segment and thinks I'm an asshole. Either way, he wouldn't even necessarily be wrong. As far as ESIC goes, I just think it's nice to finally have some more information. Totally understandable that it's taken them a long time to cooperate with law enforcement, especially something as, in theory, as serious as the FBI makes it sound, even though that is just a nebulous term. Like, it could mean that like they've got one agent who talks with them. Could mean that they've got a whole team of people investigate. I don't know.
Yeah, and they did say clearly that, well, maybe not as clearly as they should have, that they were kind of loosely working with the FBI. It's not like they're in their fucking head offices every day giving away information and whatever. It does seem like they're not working like they are working directly in conjunction, but not in a massively close capacity.
Yeah. And that's just something that you've got to keep in mind with this sort of investigation is as long as we get occasional updates, like you are going to see some goofballs who delete their Twitters now or change their handles or whatever, which is absolutely hilarious. But at the same time, like, I don't think you're running a massive risk of alerting the people involved just by giving occasional updates.
They already know.
They already do know. The
months.
people who have tried to cover their tracks have long since done that, presumably, except for some really like he even says in an interview he clearly doesn't care about alerting people because there's a quote from him saying, "Frankly, we are dealing with idiots." Talking about the people that they are investigating. Yeah. So like that seems pretty cut and dry to me. That's not even a legitimate excuse now. I think you just give us an update every now and then people won't have to sit there scratching their heads wondering what's happening. Richard Lewis had his bit about that, and he's just said to hold the line, right?
It was such an interesting interview, I've got to say. And we can surmise a couple of things, that there are different levels of this going on. Yep. Obviously, in Australia, we don't really know as much of the context, but from that Ian interview just a couple of days ago, we know that there are different levels. Of course, you've got these idiots. You've got people being either bribed or blackmailed. That's what he implied by what he was saying there.
Didn't he literally say that?
Yeah, he did say bribed, but also kind of hinted at the fact that people were being blackmailed.
It wasn't just bribery or whatever. Yeah, there were threats of violence.
That's something that Richard Lewis has also publicly confirmed, so I don't think I'm ruining any fucking story or whatever, or putting anybody out of their place for saying that. But obviously, you do have this kind of hierarchy there where you have match-fixing rings, and they've got information from private chats within Discords, and lots of this information is kind of like circumstantial in some way, but then you've got that corroborative evidence that's a lot stronger, communicating directly with these gambling sites. I think what was most interesting about what Ian said was he was very candid about everything. Obviously, he talked about that ESL India tournament where you had cheats inside of a mouse. He talked candidly about the FBI. I don't know why it was so difficult for it to take this long. It almost felt like if this interview didn't happen by chance, that maybe it wouldn't have been talked about at all. He did confirm one more thing that people have kind of forgotten about. Is supposedly bans are coming in the next 10 to 14 days. So what this means is they don't have this loose schedule anymore. They've said that the bans for the idiots are coming in the next 2 weeks.
I think
that's the first hurdle.
To be fair, I think he did say we are optimistic that 10 to 14 days. I think that's the phrasing.
I know, but it's not going to be 3 months at this point.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not like he's put like a schedule where he's like, you're for sure 100%. It's just like,
the problem is ESIC as a body has said several times that they've got this will be done by this time or whatever, and then that time comes and maybe they don't even release a statement explaining.
I think the thing is the community is not very forgiving when you give updates and they're just like the updates are just fucking trash. Like just like
I think for ESIC, the only people who are even going to comment on this or even read into this are people who are invested to some extent within.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the response to Richard Lewis, like alluding to what it was Shanks and Marv, I think joined Dignitas or someone. Shanks and someone else joined the team, roster, right? Yeah. There was a Valorant move. Oh, Shanks and Calypso joined the team, and he was like, "Oh, these two sure do have a lot in common." And what's hilarious is that he didn't say anything about them fixing. He didn't accuse. He just said they sure do have a lot in common, and the thread is all about him being bullshit that they're fixing. And it's like, hold up. If you put these two things together, like you're the one making the correlation here. Like, of course, like when you know everything, it's like, yeah, it's probably like, but I mean, if there was no evidence that they had fixed, everyone would have just been like, oh, what are they talking about? Maybe their hair color. Like, fuck, who the fuck knows, right?
Well, this is where it's one rule for the general community and another rule for Richard Lewis, it feels, where he can do like some of the most groundbreaking industry work and he still gets slammed. Look at that Rocket League drama that's just gone on. He got hired by G2 and these fucking morons basically gave him weeks of free publicity. The viewership numbers look sky high compared to what they usually would be, because we watch some of these games and they're okay and everything, but I don't know if the viewership numbers have just skyrocketed because of that, but it seems to have gained my attention, and I've never watched a fucking Rocket League event. I watched some of this one, so G2 have done their job perfectly. They knew what they were doing in this. They said, okay, right, let's get somebody who's going to put on an entertaining broadcast, but is a little bit controversial, and this talent hire is going to make the news. Of course, Snow Sweet Snow talent hires, they only make the news on their own websites. Remember Pranogo, and that is with the context of do not fear. The good casters.
I can't believe that was a real line.
That is a real line, unfortunately. So we do have that caveat there, but G2 have done their job perfectly there. They created some controversy, and now they're in the public eye once again, and people will actually watch this tournament. I don't know if anybody would have watched it before. I guess so. It's G2, big team, right? But I don't think it would have had this public appeal where people are making the news like, oh, Richard Lewis is going to be casting this. He's a bit of a controversial figure. They've done their job brilliantly. This is a PR success.
He did have a pretty banging follow-up tweet where first he just tweeted a basic like, hey guys, I'm going to be casting the Rocket League event hosted by G2. And then the next one was like, sorry guys, this is what I meant to tweet at. And it's just him doing a little fucking dance while like money. Yeah, and it's just, you just hear, who's mad over and over again. So that was pretty good. Pretty good stuff from Rich. I don't know who edited that one for him, but maybe he did it himself. I don't know. He's a talented guy.
There you go. Multifaceted.
There it is. So, yeah. So Rocket League and Richard Lewis. The only real thing was everybody in the Reddit threads for those were to saying RL could do better. And I thought Richard Lewis could do better, but he's casting this. And like, what do you mean you could do better than Rocket League? I guess. Yeah. And then I realized, oh, Rocket League is also RL. So these people are just fucking absolute scum of the earth who want to confuse everybody who's going to be looking at this because they're just pieces of shit who think that their niche game about Babby's first soccer with race cars that are remote controlled is going to take off. And Richard Lewis is going to be holding them down. Yeah. Good idea. Go fuck
We're
yourself.
3 for 3 in rants. We've all had our rants today.
I had my sort of rant earlier where I called out all of the casters and then quickly clarified I didn't mean all of the casters, but you know, whatever.
Sure.
Whatever. We've all had our stuff. So yeah, I guess since we all are good for our rants, we've made our Twitter clips, we've made our YouTube hashtag shorts. That Vu, have you actually released any hashtag shorts? Vu?
I released one on
your other channel. Oh, you have a third channel. I don't even think I'm subscribed.
I've got 2 Vu and I've got Vu CSGO clips.
Oh, okay.
And some of these clips are straight fire. I'm just saying. Like,
are these taken from your stream? Let's take them.
Yeah, they're pretty much all. Yeah, they're all taken from my stream.
Okay, all right.
They're just stream rips, but like, some of them are fucking straight fire. Like, admittedly, like,
there it is.
It's just got to get some traction. I got to get people subbing.
There you go.
If it gets some traction, I think there is mass appeal to some of these videos. Like when the flashbang hits just right. Oh, that is my short. It's choice. When the flashbang hits, it's choice.
And it's just a re-upload of the Launders clip, right? Where he just is dead.
No, the one that got like 200 likes on Twitter when I posted it was the one time your team flashes for you. So I get this guy to flash me out Palace. I'm coming out Palace on Mirage. I peek out. They're both sitting there blind, and my game freezes. And I just die. Oh, these are.
I actually did see that one. Yeah, that's the one where somebody was talking about net issues or whatever. It was just a PC freeze.
Yeah, it was something that's happened since I've had a capture card. I think occasionally it just causes some problems, you know.
So what's very funny about that is you literally did say that this is an excuse you used for fake, like an obviously fake excuse, the way that Smooya uses it. In the previous episode of ELO Heaven, you said this to Yumi, where, Smooya, I can understand why he types GG and then makes the joke about his PC crash, because I do that sometimes too, where I just kill the stream and restart it. I'm like, oh, lag. This actually happened to you, though, in a real game. This is a real thing now.
Oh, I don't kill the stream. I just say, like, you know, I'm just like, I whiff like a full shot and I'm like, sorry, I blacked out.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I'm back. I blacked out. I'm like, I can't remember what happened.
Yeah. It's good. Your chat will remind you, at the very least. They're nice like
It's good for chat engagement.
There it is. Speaking of being good for chat engagement, Squid, do you have any final words or shout outs or anything you want to plug or anything you want to discuss or on the way out?
No, I've got nothing to plug whatsoever apart from Pronogo's work in negotiations. He's made me some extra money. Thank you very much for that one.
I've done that for every caster now. Basically.
Pronogo, where's your background from casting negotiations? Where are you coming from?
What do you?
He's coming from a stance that he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care if he loses the grand final. He doesn't give a shit.
Well, I told him I have to wake up at 6 a.m. and wake my neighbors up and wake my family up.
Is it even true?
Yeah.
Okay, right, fair enough.
I think. I'm pretty sure.
I think it's maybe like 8.
Yeah.
No.
We start at like 10 a.m.
No, we start at 6. No, not for the grand final. We started at 6 on the semifinal.
Maybe you're right. Yeah. Actually, no, you are correct. So, fair enough.
Yeah. So I just told him that. I also told him that everybody else undercuts.
If you make so much fucking money off of casting, why don't you buy a decent webcam and mic and fucking lights Like, why are you on this fucking setup straight out of 2012? Like,
come on, dude. This is my setup.
Why don't you tell him the real reason? In fact,
and
don't
headphones
tell him
too.
The real reason.
The real reason is no sweets. Nope.
No. Had that one. Thanks for watching, everybody.